All right, what is going on, chat? Make sure. All right, I'm working here. All right, let me go and unmute Chip as well. Y'all can hear Chip as well. Coming at you.
Hello.
We got the USA versus Australia crew battle show match. Starting up here in a little bit. I'm excited for it. Chip, how's it going? You ready to cast some Pokemon action?
It's going good. Yeah, I'm super excited. Thanks for having me on, Azul. Definitely looking forward to it. I think I talked about it this week on the podcast, but like this is some of my favorite Pokemon is just like watching like the genuine like best of the best go at it. And the fact that we're going to see 3 of the best North American players up against 3 of the best Australian players, and then all 3 of them working together as like one mind against each other. Yeah, I'm super pumped for sure.
Yeah, definitely excited for it. We're not going to start for the games. Are going to start. We're going to start the games in like 10-15 minutes, but we do have all the players' deck lists and their deck archetypes that we can take a look at. So I think we should just go ahead and start there, to be honest. Let me see here, and we'll start by looking at the Australian side and see what they're bringing. First deck. Oh wait, I forgot to add Chip to this scene. All right,
Nice.
let me. All right, we're gonna go with no Chip in this scene. You can just hear Chip. You won't be able to see Chip though. Yeah, one
It's
scene
better that
short.
way.
All right, we'll start with the Australians decks though. And the first one I'm looking at here is the Mew deck. So just bringing Mew. For there's like just bringing like DT Mew. Nothing crazy. Has the fusion energy in there to prevent or to play around with potential Spiritombs. Yeah, nothing too wild. Only 3 path, I guess, is like the only thing that stands out to me.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting for this format. I would almost like to have seen the Australian players just like commit to full DTE Mew or full Fusion Mew. You know, this hybrid build does better into like an open tournament meta, but for
Yeah.
this type of format, you know, if you go up against a deck with Spiritomb as DTE Mew, you just take the L. It's unfortunate, but then you're not going to lose to like every single one of the decks they brought, right? So I think I probably would have liked to have seen just more commitment to one way or the other. But I mean, obviously, this list has been proven to be very successful, very strong. So I'm sure it'll be solid still, regardless.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think that's what I like to have seen as well. I guess there's like a decent amount of decks that can play Spiritomb. So like you're looking at stuff like like Miraidon. I mean, now I'm already like losing. There's more than that. Like Miraidon, Arceus decks.
Sometimes Giratina.
Giratina. There's a couple of them, but I do kind of agree with you when it's like, I guess this deck could run up against multiple different decks, right? If you don't win with it the first time around.
Sure.
And I guess for anyone who doesn't know what Conquest format is, that is what we're playing today. Best of 9, so first to win 5 matches, Conquest format. So each side is bringing 5 decks, and you do have to win 1 match with every single deck. And once you win with the deck, you can't use that deck anymore. So both teams are going to initially queue up 1 deck, and then from there, the winner deck is retired, and they have to pick a new deck out of the remaining decks, and then the loser can change decks as well if they want. They can play the same deck again, or they can pick one of their other 4 decks for like the first match specifically, and the loser will also get to choose who goes first and who goes second. And then the way we're doing that is they're gonna pick who goes first or who goes second after both players have locked in a deck. So both teams are gonna lock in a deck. They're not gonna know what each other are playing, and then they will pick first or second. So they'll probably pick first or second based on their deck choice, but they won't be able to know both decks before they pick first or second.
Yep.
Let's take a look at the next deck here. So they brought Mew. That's one of the archetypes they got here. Then they also brought Gardevoir, which I don't think is a very big surprise as well. I assumed they were gonna bring Gardevoir, but I believe James and Natalie both recently have top 8s, or Natalie even got top 4. Natalie was not playing VIP Pass in Melbourne, and then James was recently playing Battle VIP Pass in Dortmund. So I was curious to see what they would end up on with their Guardy build, but they did end up on the Battle VIP Pass build.
Yeah, they did end up on the VIP Pass. They do have the Turo in here as well. You know, kind of, again, that tech for kind of the open tournament field. But still, I mean, that one, I guess, a little different than like the Fusion Strike energies in the Mew and the DT Mew. You know, that's Turo is just kind of like an all-around decent card, right? Can be used in a lot of different situations, but I mean, it is definitely most commonly, I think, seen as a answer to the Snorlax deck.
Yeah, definitely. Answer to Snorlax. But yeah, it has like other uses as well, right? It can kind of like function as like a second collapse stadium to like get Guard EX out of play in
Yep.
certain scenarios. So it's definitely
Yep.
more versatile than something like the Fusion Energy. I feel like the Fusion Energy are definitely playing towards a little bit more narrow of situations, whereas the Turo is a little bit more open. But yeah, it really isn't here. Like if Control didn't exist, I don't know if you would ever really consider. I guess Control / Mawile, right? Mawile is like the other reason.
Yeah. And then also there's no Moonlit Hill in this list as well. Another thing to point out.
Yeah, no Moonlit Hill, and I believe also like something to point out. James most recently getting top 8 at Dortmund, where Moonlit Hill was legal, chose not to play it.
Yeah,
that's worth pointing out.
And I believe he was the only of the Guardies who did not play it.
No, I think him and
did
Rowan
Rowan
didn't
not
play
play
it.
it
I think it
either?
was just Smart that played it.
Okay.
Most recently, but we'll have a couple
Yeah,
more major tournaments to see how people feel about it coming up. We got Utrecht and the Latin American Regional, and even Vancouver as well. Gardevoir, and then Tina. Also, I don't think not a surprise. Brought the Tina, and this looks like almost exactly. I think it's the exact same 60 that Brent actually used to win Melbourne. I didn't make any adjustments here. Pokegear still 4-path.
Does have 2 switch. So a little change up there on the switching cards. 2 switch, 2 switch cart.
There's an escape rope as well. Well, no, I think Brent played 4 switch cart at Liverpool and then switched to the 2-2 split at.
No, I'm looking at it here. He had 4 switch cart in Melbourne as well.
Oh, okay.
I mean, overall, like kind of a minor change. The escape rope is definitely the bigger add here, cutting a counter catcher for it.
Yeah, cutting the rope over the counter catcher. Yeah. Was that 3 decks in? Deck number 4 is actually Arceus. This is the biggest surprise on their side of the deck choices. Is the Arceus deck? Yeah, I don't know about the Arceus deck. It's a deck I don't have a ton of experience with. It's not a super popular deck, obviously.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Mike Fouché put out a big post on Twitter about the like win percentages in day 2 of all of the like top performing decks recently, and I believe Arceus was pretty high up on the list of like average win percentage compared to all the other decks in the format. So
was it really? That's actually kind of a surprise. I would not have expected that.
Maybe I remember being surprised by it.
Maybe that's what like tempted them to try it out.
Mm-hmm. I want to fact check myself here, but I remember seeing that when I had looked over his post that he made. Yeah, I mean, it's like got a couple of, he used a chart that, used red for a bad matchup and blue for a good matchup. And it's definitely got a lot more blue on there than red. And it's like pretty solidly, like it was 67% into Charizard. It was like 72% into Lost Box Charizard. Like,
Judge Path
72% into Miraidon. Like it's like it definitely had like solid matchups across the board.
Or I guess Iono Path now, but yeah, I could see it. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't actually like take note of. I looked at that a little bit. I didn't like go too in depth on it, but that is definitely interesting. That is the that has that high. Maybe that's what like tempted. I would assume out of the Australian players, James was probably the one to like pick that up and maybe try it out and decide, okay,
looking
actually,
at on
good.
Twitter right here, Mike put out his thing and Brent replied to him actually and said, can we see the overall win rate for each deck as well? And Charizard is right there at the top of overall win rate with 53%.
You mean Arceus?
Yeah, sorry, Arceus.
Okay, yeah. It's at the top. It's like number 1.
Yes, but it actually doesn't look like it's in exact order, but looking down the list, there's nothing that's higher than 53%.
Okay, yeah. And then the last deck that they're bringing the Arceus, which is definitely a surprise. And then the last deck is, one of the best decks in the format of our Control. They are bringing the Control. And this is actually interesting because it feels like they did build out this list without care of an open meta. There's no Sinnohs in here for the Tina matchup. Instead, 2 more Artisans for more consistently. So basically giving up the Tina matchup completely. It is a unfavorable matchup for sure, but definitely not unwinnable once you get the Sinnohs involved. Yeah, once you get the Sinnohs involved, it's not unwinnable. But yeah, they decide to completely forego the Sinnohs. More consistency with the double Artisan as their stadium of choice.
And for this format, I think I like that, right? You know, if you run into the Tina, it's like, okay, we lose that matchup, but this is going to be guaranteed to be a lot better against the other stuff that they could have brought. So interesting they made that call for like this deck, but they didn't make that call for the Mew deck.
Well, I guess like one way to think of it is like the Mew deck doesn't auto lose, or Mew doesn't Mew can, it doesn't like it doesn't have an unfavorable matchup if you have the fusions against some matchups with Spiritomb, right? Like if you go up against a Tina with Spiritomb, it's beatable. If you go up against a Rapid Strike with the Spiritomb, it's beatable. If you go up against like a Roaring Moon with Spiritomb, it's beatable. Like a lot of these things are beatable, right? But with the control deck, even if you got like the 4 Sinnohs in there and you go up against Tina, you're still unfavored, right?
Yeah.
I have to imagine that's part of their strategizing here with the list choice. It's at least like what are they taking out, what are they not taking out. But I do like to see that adjustment at least in some of the lists, right? Where it's like you could just completely give up on some matchups because it's like because you just need this deck to win one match against one deck. You don't need to go through a gauntlet of decks with any kind of deck, right?
Interesting that they are playing the Crabominable as well. There's no Pidgeot in here, so it's like it's like the straight Snorlax build and does have the Crab, which is something we could see come up in one particular matchup if we see 2 decks matched up against each other when we get over to what the Americans decided to bring.
Yeah, we can jump over to that now. The first deck I'm looking at here is the Control. The Americans also bring Control. They are teching out for the Tina matchup. The Sinnohs are there. No Crab, no Water Energy. So if they do hit the mirror match, they are in trouble.
Yep. Yeah, the Crab is going to be pretty good in the mirror match if that's where we find ourselves. Hopefully, we can avoid a stall mirror. I don't know that anyone... I don't know. Maybe it would be good for the memes, to be honest, but I don't think it's something that anyone would love to see. No one would be fist pumping about it. But yeah, again, no Pidgeot here. Straightforward Snorlax. Like you said, they do have the Sinnohs in this list.
Yeah, straightforward build. Has a Sinnoh, so has a little bit better time against the potential Tina. And yeah, for anyone who's wondering, yeah, it's going to be Conquest format, which means going into each round of the match, they'll both be picking a deck blind. They'll know what the other player has left for decks, but they won't know exactly what their opponent is picking. So they have to make a judgment call based on what they think they have a higher chance of going up against. So there's like a whole nother level of strategy besides just playing the game. You're also playing the deck pool, right?
And the lists are public as well. Like each team knows which 5 decks each team has, and they also know which decks are like still remaining, right? So once the Australians win with their Mew deck, the Americans can make decisions based off the fact that they know Mew is not going to be the deck that they bring to the next battle.
And it is best of 1, yeah. So it's best of 1. Each game is going to be best of 1. So we have a potential of a total of.
Can you imagine how long we would be here? Best of 9, best 2 out of 3 conquest.
Yeah, exactly. That would be a lot.
But yeah, it's open lists, so they'll have access to each other's lists.
Yeah, we'll have access to each other's lists. Yeah, open deck list. Everyone knows everything. But yeah, let's get through the rest of these decks here for the US side. So we see the Control up next. They are bringing a Lost Box, the Kyogre Lost Box.
So you played this deck pretty recently to the tournament, to a tournament. Was it Knoxville, right?
Yeah.
But after that tournament, it seems like it's kind of like, fallen out of favor. It hadn't done much in like the online scene and stuff like that. It's not ever the type of deck that's like the most popular online anyway, but it did kind of feel like this deck almost felt like a one and done I think to a lot of people. What do you think about their choice to bring it here to this best of 9 crew battle?
I don't know. I think Lost Box decks just all feel so mid. I think they're all like very I just don't feel that powerful. Same with this one. And also we saw the Turo and the Guardy, so I don't even know what you're trying to pair this thing up to. You're trying to get it against the Control. What else are you trying to get this to play against?
The Mew.
The Tina matchup is fine. The Mew, okay, so it does have something. Yeah, the Mew, the Tina. The Tina's fine, Mew's fine, and then Control for sure. So it does have some good matchups still. It has they are playing the Mawile package, but the Turo's in the Guardy, so that's not probably going to line up super well for them anymore. Although I'm sure that would have been a matchup that they'd be trying to get, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, not going to be possible this time around. Moving along, third, they did bring the Chien-Pao, and this one does have the Spiritomb, so. It's maybe the exact.
Yeah, I think we all know who influenced this decision. This is like the only deck that Reagan Retzloff has been playing the last like 2 months, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Reagan has been on the Chien-Pao for a while. They did opt to bring the Spiritomb, which is once again like one of those like things we would question a little bit. Like, all right, the Spiritomb's only going to be good against the Mew. I guess it does help against Control. It does allow you to beat Control. Yeah, it does allow you to be control as well, but yeah, you're going to be looking to line this up into the Mew matchup, I feel like, for sure. Even though they have the fusions in the Mew, like, that would be still a good lineup because you have the Spiritomb in there, or the control
Yeah.
matchup, I guess, as well. But the control matchup still can come down to, do you open Bidoof? So, doesn't matter how much Spiritomb you have if Bidoof starts.
Yeah. They do have the. Oh, sorry, it is only 2 super odd. It was.
Oh, they have the canceling
Kyogre list,
colognes,
but
though.
it's
You
3
can
super
canceling cologne retreat out of the Snorlax.
rad. That is true. Double canceling cologne, 4 cross switcher. There's probably just enough here for them to like squeak out a slight edge or be fine at least in the.
I think if you
in
open
the matchup.
if you open like Frigibax or Chien-Pao with Spiritomb plus the canceling clones, I would imagine it's favorable. So it comes down to the start. If you open Bidoof, even with the cross switcher canceling clones, I bet you would still be unfavored. Doesn't matter if they can't draw with Rotom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they can't draw with Rotom if you still have that Bidoof to be counter catchered eventually. All right. Next up, they did bring their own Tina, and it is I guess what we've kind of expected from Bradner and John specifically. They got the Manaphy, only 3 path. Those have been like their go-tos. They actually brought the Spiritomb as well. So actually, I mean, the more this kind of comes together, it's kind of, I don't know. The fusion energy and the Mew look better and better, to be honest.
Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. Yeah, John, I think recently in Knoxville, he did play. Yeah, it's Knoxville and Charlotte. He did play 1 escape rope in his list. But it looks like Bradner won out maybe here on the the debate of which list they should bring.
That is funny. There's a 3 switch. It's funny that we see that, like, you know, Brent and you know, these are like, I guess, like Titan Tina players coming at each other here a little bit.
Yeah,
we got some Tina Titans here. They both gone up to 5 switch cards. I think we were seeing 4 switch cards from both of them previously. But Brent and crew opting for the escape rope. Bradner John with Reagan opting for the switch over the escape rope. I know Bradner's not a big fan of escape rope in Tina. I'm not either personally, but the one of maybe there could be some merit to it there, especially if it's like coming in over a counter catcher. Like if you value that extra, manipulation.
I think I like that option over just like the third regular switch, honestly. Just like give yourself a little bit of an option. Most of the time, honestly, like the difference between playing 1 rope versus 1 switch, like it can't come up that often where like having rope specifically punishes you, right?
Yeah, it doesn't come up too much, but it does come up sometimes.
Find yourself in that situation, obviously.
Yeah, because a lot of times with Tina, you do want to be KOing their active, and you do have some gust effects, so you can be able to manipulate your board that way.
Yeah,
manipulate their board. And this is the last one here, I believe. Also a Gardevoir. They do have the Moonlit Hill though. They brought the Moonlit Hill. I think both are on double research as well, I believe. The one thing that stands out here to me is only 3 level ball. Only 3 level ball is interesting. I feel like level ball is like the best Pokemon search card. Is the Fog Crystal really that much? Is a 3rd Fog Crystal better than the 4th level ball? I'm not too sure on that. It does combo with Moonlit Hill a little bit better.
Yeah. Honestly, like if you're Mirage stepping a lot of games, sometimes the level balls just have very low value.
Oh wait, someone mentioned both are only playing through level ball. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, sometimes like I don't know. It feels like you Mirage step such a high percentage of games with Gardevoir right now. Your level balls do go down in value quite a bit whenever you do Mirage step. I mean, you can still use it to thin out Manaphy in a matchup you don't need it. You can still use it to get Screamtail or Jirachi, obviously. So like it still has uses, but the flexibility of the extra Fog Crystal, I definitely don't hate.
That was actually another good mention from someone in chat pointing out. There's no Mew in this list, which is actually really interesting. A VIP pass list with no Mew. Actually, was there Mew in
I think that's been a thing that
I see it in the
non-VIP builds. Yeah.
That makes me. I'm gonna go back and look at the Australian list real fast. They had Mew. They also still only had 3 level balls as well, but they only had 2 Fog Crystal. I feel like that's like usually the thing that I see where like some players make a little bit of a difference, and these are like really little things, but like players have their reasons for why they want. Like is it 3rd Fog Crystal or 4th level ball? But the Australian list is only 3 level ball, but it's only 2 Fog Crystal. But I don't think I ever see anyone go under 2 Fog Crystal to include the 4th level ball. It's never a 4 level ball, 1 Fog Crystal split.
Right.
I don't think I've ever seen that split. Although it could be the better way to play it, to be honest. It's possible no one's tried it up to this point. This could be like
Azul's cooking right here, right before we're about to get into the crew battle, bro.
And unless I'm mistaken, that is the last list. So we've gone through the lists. We talked about some of the choices. With all that in mind, Chip, do you have someone who you feel like is a favorite then at this time?
I don't think anyone's necessarily a favorite based on deck lists or anything like that. I do think that there's a chance that I could see the Australians maybe getting stuck with the Arceus deck for a little bit, having a time getting a win there. I could see the Americans maybe getting stuck with the Chien-Pao deck, having a hard time getting a win there. I think those are all possibilities.
You think those are going to be the hardest ones to get wins with?
Actually, maybe Kyogre would have a harder time than Chien-Pao. What do you think?
I just got a couple good decks it could run up into for sure. I think the Kyogre deck's really not trying to hit Gardevoir. You're really trying to dodge. I guess one deck to point out that neither team brought. No one brought Charizard. No one
Yeah,
brought
I
Zard.
did see that.
No Moon,
Charizard,
no Miraidon, no Zard.
Miraidon, no Roaring Moons.
So I think definitely some interesting choices on that. So yeah, definitely some interesting choices on that. But yeah, definitely some decks that are considered like pretty powerhouse decks. People are choosing to hold off on. And I think we're loading up, getting into the first game here already. So yeah, we'll see what they're bringing as their first decks. And then for the coin flip off the rip, it's just going to be decided by PTCG Live.
Yeah, it's decided by the end game. Seeing who wants to go first or second here. And it looks like the Americans won the coin flip and chose to go second here. And they Americans chose to bring control right off the rip. Here we go.
Yeah, I wonder if do they think that's like their worst deck? Do they think that has the most potential losses? Or they're just trying to get it into trying to hit it into or do they think it has the best matchup spread? They're trying to hit into literally anything. I guess that could be the flip side.
Yeah, that is an interesting thing. Like I feel like if you have a deck that you feel like has a really good matchup spread, you almost want to save it a little bit, not get it out of there too quickly. But we see the Australians brought the Arceus deck right off the rip. So maybe them doing that exact strategy you mentioned, bringing the deck they think they may have the hardest time winning with right off the bat.
Yeah, I think that could be the case here. The hardest time they have winning, I guess maybe you think you have the easiest time with it, so you're trying to narrow down the field first. I guess you could look at it both ways because you don't want like decks to get like stuck against bad matchups, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a draw pass. I believe Australia did go first in this one. I think US chose second, and yeah, but this is a pretty bad matchup for Arceus, right? Because like they don't really have a way to deal with. Well, there's a beautiful off the rip from the invitation.
Wow.
So,
the turn one invitation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we see there as well, the Australians did have the energy in hand, chose not to attach to the Arceus. I think waiting for the find of a double turbo energy, and they actually did just top deck a double turbo energy here. So waiting to maybe just go straight in with the Trinity charge, but it might punish them a little bit here because they could have otherwise gotten off an attack here since the capturing aroma does flip aheads, allowing them to get that Arceus V-Star. But once again, they will just pass.
Yeah, so they didn't attach the V-Guard there off the rip. Were they just trying to... that was like curious to me. I don't know why they chose to
they
not
had a
attach.
Judge in their hand, so maybe they were just waiting to go like attach Judge so they don't get randomly Sydneyed.
Yeah.
Oh, but what a play! Wait, what's playing the Sydney? Wait,
what was the other option there?
The double turbo was top deck. They didn't know that double turbo was in the hand, right?
Yeah, but what else were they going to play? There's nothing else to play, right?
Oh yeah, they've got nothing in their hand.
It's also curious.
Okay,
they Pokegeared for boss instead of Pokegearing for...
Yeah, I'm trying to watch too much here at the same time, to be honest.
It's just a draw pass immediately from Australia. We're back over to the U.S. Here comes the Misfortune Sisters. There's 3
just
hits.
Nothing going on.
2 pats to the feet. Yeah, nothing is happening. The what's it called?
This feels like a tough one for the folks down under at this moment.
Yeah, they do play they are literally just draw passing. They do play the Squovette though.
So what do you want to do here as the Australians as far as when do you... Because at some point you have to do something, right? You've got to start attacking. You play the escape rope that they have in hand, right? V-Star power for the double turbo, start swinging, right? When do they decide what the right time is?
I think they are committed to timeout as their strategy because they play Squovette.
Oh, interesting. They are playing stuff very quickly. Okay.
Yeah, I think they're literally committed to the timeout strategy. This is a matchup they probably did not want to hit with the Arceus deck. They've hit it, and I think their win condition is timeout with Squovette.
Wait, is that going to work?
It can work. The Arceus player Or the actually, yeah, if they just get Squavet down, can you deal with the Squavet?
I don't think so. I think that just works, right?
That might just work. Yeah, I guess you can't deal with it, right?
Yeah, and I mean, we see the Americans are taking plenty of time making their decisions here. So I think, I mean, the timer is obviously going to pretty heavily favor the Australian players at this point.
Yeah. I think they are literally off the rip committed to the timeout strategy. They get the Rotom here, pick up the Spiritomb with the Penny. And I think Australian is literally just going to be draw. Yep, there's the draw pass.
Wow.
I think they are committed to the
Wow.
timeout strategy from
That
turn
is
one.
crazy.
And theoretically, it works, right? Because there's no answer to the Squavet here.
I think it does just work. Yeah, I don't think there's really anything that's, yeah, there's no Crabominable in this list, right? No like way you could just get lucky and mill it out. It doesn't matter if it's like in play or whatever, right? So like, you know, Erica's invitation, bring it to the active, you know, you can still use Squovet if it's in the active spot, right? So
Yeah, you could theoretically fill the bench before Squavet happens, but I don't think that's going to happen.
true.
They have Starbirth, so they're just going to wait to Starbirth for it when they need to, or just wait till they naturally draw into it, I feel like.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wonder
if
if
they ever got at risk of, yeah, because they have to Erica's invitation literally 4 more times and get a hit every single time that was not Squovet.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a. This is literally gonna come down to a timeout strategy.
Wow.
Which
What a
is-
way to start things off, huh, Azul?
Yeah, this is definitely not where I expected things. This is not what I expected in the first game here, but it looks like it's where we're headed.
Do we want to listen in and see what's happening, what's being chatted about from either side?
Yeah, sure. What side do you want to go to here?
Well, we're going over the Australians' turn, but it's going to end in about 2 seconds. So,
Yeah. So we go over to the U.S. side then.
yeah, let's hear what they're saying. I don't hear them.
Okay.
Okay.
You're not gonna Iona, right? Just attach the charms. And
Yeah.
draw 3.
All right.
Okay.
Riveting.
Dude, they're locked in
Oh?
with this control gameplay.
Okay.
Let's see if they have it in their deck.
Oh, yeah. I wonder
Yeah,
if they'll
he's
just
very
concede here off seeing the
man.
Squavet.
No.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
All right, I went ahead. I went ahead and deafened there. Yeah, I think they realized what was happening as soon as
John
the
just said I'm
Starbirth-
down to push the button. I don't know if you heard that.
I did not. I deafened after that. But yeah, they know what's going on. They've seen the Squavet. They're down on time. This might be a game 1 victory for the Arceus deck. But that does mean the US will still have the control to work with, which is a pretty. I feel like it's still like it's a pretty powerful deck. Like it's like you're not hating having control around for the future potentially. They even brought up the Squavet there, but yeah, there's no threat on the Squavet, right? Like this is just going to be a draw pass scenario.
Yeah, literally nothing they can do here. They were playing to the Squavet being prized out, it sounded like.
Yeah.
And he was there. So
And did Australia check their deck on turn 1? I don't think they did. So if it could have been prized, and if
yeah.
it was prized, then they would have been more aggressive about trying to draw prize cards, right?
Yeah. I
So-
think you just play to the odds. Like, it's not super likely the one of is prized. If it is, try to piece together some attacks from there if you can. Man.
Yeah, I mean they're gonna stick it out. I'm not surprised. Bradner wants to stick it out. That doesn't surprise me at all. Yeah, you said John said he was ready to. He was ready to call it quits.
They're already talking about. I've just been undeafening and listening. They're already talking about what deck is next and stuff.
I guess that's what you do at this point, right? You can just take extra time to
Reagan
apply
just said,
strategy.
"I'm down for Chien-Pao."
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What do you think they should bring next? Where do you think they changes from here? So Arceus is going to be off the board.
I think that first off, that's like a sigh of relief on Australia's end, right?
Is that the-
We got rid of the Arceus deck.
you just
we
a-
got that out of the way.
Are you just an Arceus hater though, Chip? Because you've been like, you said it's all blue on the spreadsheet.
It is, but I mean, let's be real, bro. Like, let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you said it's all blue, but if the, but then all of a sudden it's the deck that you think you need to get out of the way the fastest. I also felt like this was maybe like because Arceus generally doesn't pair up great into. I feel like it doesn't have that great of a time against like Roaring Moon and stuff. Even Miraidon, I feel like it's tough.
Yeah, they could have made the call like these guys are probably not going to bring
Like
Roaring
any of
Moon. They're
those
probably
decks.
not going to bring Miraidon. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true.
I think Moon is definitely like the toughest of those for sure. And if they, yeah,
But
that would be.
I mean, to be fair, you wouldn't think it does very good into like Gardevoir.
I don't think so. No. Does it have a positive win rate against Gardevoir on the thing?
And then, well, maybe it does
the
fine
Fouché
against like
stats?
Tina and stuff. I guess with the V guards.
Yeah. No, the Tina, I'm not sure. Yeah, you do have the V guards, and I think like the list that, yeah, we're kind of just like sitting. This has kind of just become a formality at this point. I feel like, yeah, this is becoming like a formality at this point. We're kind of just waiting for US to concede at some point because Australia
The
basically
first
has this
time
one
Nest
locked up.
Stash gets
And
used. Oh, here it is. Yep.
is this it? The concede comes in. Game 1 goes to Australia. Yeah, it was a convenient matchup pairing, right? Convenient matchup pairing.
Yeah, well, just with the rules that we have in place, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess if there was no time limit, the exact same thing happens, right? It just goes infinite.
Well, that's why you need a time limit. Yeah, otherwise it would go infinite because there's the Pidgeot on one side and the Squirvet on the other. So
Otherwise, we'd have literally started with an infinite game
with
one.
an infinite game 1.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the time does apply. Time does apply.
What's our tiebreaker on game infinites?
Tiebreaker on game infinites. That's not
Because
possible.
in Swiss, it's or in Top Cut, it's higher seed.
Well, we have the timer, so it shouldn't matter.
But let's like theorize. What will we have done? All-time earnings, most recent dub.
I guess I don't
Group
know.
Earnings.
I'm not sure. I guess overall, higher overall earnings. The PokemonTCG.
All right, so we're going into this next game. Team USA does get to choose, since they did lose, they get to choose if they want to go first or second, and they can make their deck choice based on that.
Yeah, and I think they did choose in the chat. They said they were going second. So we'll see what they brought here. They might just bring control again. Yeah,
you
think they'll run
possible.
it back?
Entirely possible, for sure.
But we are starting on the Australian side then, I guess.
I think Australia.
Ooh.
It looks like Australia's brought the Tina for this next game. So hopefully Team USA did not bring control once again.
Yeah, we'll see here. No, okay, we got a lost zone showdown.
Okay.
Tina versus the Kyogre. I do give the favor. Actually, I don't know. It's close. I think I do give the favor to Kyogre overall.
You just have a few more plays, and you also can be more aggressive with this deck compared to Tina, right?
Yeah.
I'd also argue that like regular Lost Box probably like slightly more consistent than Giratina.
A little bit, yeah.
But the longer the game goes on, Tina probably becomes a little bit more favored. Like the longer the game lasts, I would say.
Yeah.
Because Kyogre's not a super big deal. I feel like in this matchup, it definitely can be a little bit of a factor, but it's not like going to be a very common way for the Americans to win the game. So the longer the game goes on, the more things like Roxanne come into play. Potentially, though, I do expect to see both teams trying to play around Roxanne to a decent degree, right?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You can play around Roxanne as the Kyogre player and like never go into Roxanne range, but still like be actively setting up a win condition through Kyogre or through
some Sableye stuff.
Yeah. They are only running the one Sableye, I believe. So it's like going to be a little bit tougher to like do too much Sableyeing. They do have 3 Super Rods, so they could theoretically Sableye 4 times, maybe even 5 if one doesn't get knocked out for some reason one turn. But ideally, you want to try and like play around the possibility of like a board lock and then like Ogre taking 3 or 4 prize cards in a turn.
I think one of my least favorite early game flower selectings to see is what we just saw from the Australians, which is like basic energy plus super rod, right? Because early game, you're not quite sure which one is going to be more important at the end of the game. If it happens in the middle of the game, you can make a little bit more of an informed decision, but early on, it can be a little annoying to let go of that basic energy.
No, they even just like they didn't even play the nest ball. They could have got a Tina, but chose to just pass, it looks like. Just leaving 2 Comfies in play. Didn't put down the Greninja. Could have Jet Energy with the Greninja to draw 2 more cards. But taking it slow, I think this is what is going back to that port, is like not, the point of like not putting too many things in play to open up the opportunity to play around Roxanne. Is like just kind of chill, take your time. Although this does open up the opportunity for turn 1 Greninja win the game. So that's the only thing here that could happen.
Yeah, possible, but how likely is that really?
Especially with the Dragonite start, it's definitely pretty tough. I feel like usually my rule of thumb is if, and this is like a super turbo build of Lost Box, they can definitely get faster.
Gosh, they found all 4 Colress right here on turn 1, by the way.
Oh, I forgot to switch sides here. My bad. There
They
we go.
started
I'm
with a
over.
Colress. They had 3 Colress in their opening hand, played a Colress, found the 4th one.
Yeah, they still got some options. So can definitely get to like, I can't tell what the card is behind their scoreboard there, but they could definitely get to a.
They do have
Cram
Forest
attack.
Seal Stone.
Oh, is that a force? Yeah, they should be able to
Forest Seal Stone.
pretty easily get to a cram attack then. They're debating playing the Nest Ball right now though, which is interesting.
Yeah, as long as the Lost Vacuum isn't prized, they do only play 1 Lost Vacuum. We'll see if they check that
Oh,
right here.
They can do it right now. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, they literally have it if they want it. Now, is it worth using your Forest Seal Stone to do that? That's a question as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think I like the aggressive play here. Only 2 Comfies in play. Like it could be the fact that they held back on benching some Pokemon. That's possible, but maybe they just only have 2 Comfies. If they only have 2 Comfies, you know, just getting aggressive and drawing prize cards. You'd rather knock out the active Comfie than the bench
It's
Comfie.
got the energy on it, yeah.
Yeah, and also an interesting play here, an interesting choice that they could make here is they got plenty of Colresses in hand. They don't have to bench Comfies themselves to open up prize card possibilities from like Greninja or something like that. They can kind of take it slow, and just go with
I think they're doing
the knockout on the bench one. Don't even bench a Comfy as like a liability.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I mean, there's no reason really to bench the Comfey, right? You know your opponent's list. They're not going to disrupt you. There's no Iono coming through. So really no reason for the Americans to put the Comfey down. I guess if you expect your active Creamrant to get knocked out, it's a good send up, right? So that would be
Yeah.
kind of the main reason.
You'd maybe still bench this one Comfy, to be honest. I think you'd probably still bench this Comfy, I think.
And they're going
Yeah,
with the
for
Lost Vacuum play.
Yeah, for the potential of like the response cram, like you want to send up a Comfy here, so.
All right. And what is the card that you can Lost Zone from this hand? Got to be the Pokegear, I think, right?
I would assume so. The other thing I was thinking is maybe Recycler if they feel like Ogre's just not very good in this matchup. I think Ogre is pretty good, so. And yeah, there's the Comfy bench to respond to the cram
Being
return
KO'd.
hit. Yeah.
Yeah. So they jump ahead, turn 1 KO for the Americans, jumping up their first prize cards of the whole series here. The first prize card we've seen taken in the whole best of 9. And now Team Australia just sending up that Comfey, has the Jet Energy, does find Colress too. And a couple Path to the Peak. What do you think? Path's not really relevant at all in this matchup. Pretty easy to just send it to the Lost Zone right away.
I mean, locking down the opposing Greninja is pretty nice, especially if you just don't plan on benching your own, possibly.
You also, I guess, do want to bump Pokestop at some point, right? You don't want to just let the Ogre
Yeah.
player keep their Pokestop in play.
Yeah, but they do play 4 paths, so finding like a path later on as the game progresses shouldn't be impossible to do. They should be able to get there. The question at this point becomes like, what is their plan? I think they're going to respond to the cram with the cram here.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. So this should be probably going to get cram.
Yeah.
And then start to just draw some prize cards. Yeah, and not leave too many liabilities in play. I don't even know if we'll see the Greninja get benched here as well. They might just hold off on that. But there is the energy in the hand to like start seeing more cards for it.
And I think this example here is possibly why we saw them hold off on using the Nest Ball last turn, because they wanted the potential to respond to a Creamrant. With their own Creamrant, they didn't have a guaranteed out, right? And
Yeah.
getting down the turn 1 Tina, I mean, you're not going to go Lost Impact realistically on turn 2 unless your opponent literally goes Dragonite Pass. So
Yeah, and then that gives you the option to either top deck Tina or top deck Cram, and the Nest Ball gets the other and lets you put
which
the
is
rest of the
exactly what
field
happened. I
in
mean,
there.
didn't top deck, but found it off the Colress, right? So it works out just as well.
Yeah.
And still have Flower Selecting here. Also, get one more card in the Lost Zone. I wish we had the Lost Zone counter.
Yeah, that would be nice actually.
Yeah.
My big question at this point is are they gonna ever are they avoiding not benching the Greninja? Because you would have wanted to Greninja before you use Flower Selecting there if you were gonna
Right.
Greninja. So if they don't bench it, that makes me think that their strategy is to like never put the Greninja in play. And it maybe makes sense for the current board state as well. You have the Comfy in play, the Cramrat in play. If those both get knocked out, your opponent goes down to 3 prize cards. If you have the Greninja in play still, they can get down to 2 prize cards without KOing any Tinas. So maybe you want to force your opponent to have to go through 2 Tinas.
I bet that's what they're talking about right now, is if they want this Greninja to come down. You want to hop over and listen in?
Yeah, we can go ahead and see what's up.
So do we benching Ninja for sure?
Yes,
Yeah.
we're benching Ninja, get rid of Grass.
Yeah. We could attach a trade as well if we want to, and then we keep that.
I would just attach the water to Ninja because we.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, yeah. Attach water to Ninja makes a lot of sense. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah.
This, and then retreat power.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, split. Hands on.
All right, so yeah, fans of the Ninja in the end, they felt pretty confident about putting the Ninja in play too. Maybe it seems like they maybe weren't second guessing it too much.
And what do you
on
think of this
whether or not-
energy being dropped here?
Yeah, that's interesting as well. Trying to aggressively set up for the possibility of the Ninja on the next turn.
The
Yeah.
Americans can play around that by not putting another Comfey in play, but it's kind of hard to not put another Comfey in play, right?
Yeah,
I guess you don't have to this turn. If they could have, okay, it is possible they could respond with Cramorant once again here. They've got Pokestop, they've got Super Rod, right?
Yeah, they just need to find the.
The Nest Ball and
know.
a Switch. It's kind of a lot.
It could take the water here instead of the Comfey maybe, and that gives you the pivot out.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like not a ton of options in this hand here. I'm sure they would have liked maybe even to use like Greninja this turn. You could like KO Comfey, put 90 somewhere else to set up for a Sableye attack later. And they're still not sure what they want to go with either. But yeah, they're going to lock in the extra Comfey here. But yeah, no way to pivot into it makes it feel a little awkward to have gotten. But they're immediately going to go into the Pokestop. And also, we did see those 2 paths get milled earlier. Or get lost owned earlier. Not as many outs to bump the stop anymore at this point. And the stop definitely, they're only Roxanne or the Greninja.
Tough.
I mean, I think it has to be the Greninja, but the Roxanne is super powerful in this matchup on the Kyogre side because the Tina player can't really afford to not go to Roxanne range.
Yeah, and then also, like, even if you were going to try to play around it, with open deck list in this format, they know there's only one Roxanne. So that Roxanne hits the lost zone. They know they don't have to worry about it anymore. And that's exactly what we're going to see happen.
And now it's super important to stay ahead in the prize trade, I feel like, on the US side, because you don't have the potential of the comeback through the hand disruption. So that the hands that get built up in with a lost zone deck, if it doesn't get hand disrupted, get huge, right? And they're gonna have everything they want every single turn eventually. So it's really important to now try and stay ahead in the prize exchange. And I think they did whiff, right? They did whiff the Cram Attack here. The Cram Attack was whiffed.
Yeah, they did whiff it. They could go Comfey again, get one more card in the lost zone, but that doesn't seem really worth it at all. You put yourself right into Greninja range, right?
Yeah, so they're just passed with the Comfey and the active. So the Cram is definitely getting another prize card here for Australia.
Now, here's something that could be interesting. We talked about some differences in list and stuff like that. If they find the one escape rope, is that something that comes into play here? Is it worth going that aggressive?
Just go after the Dragonite while you can. I don't know. I feel like because there's no hand disruption, you'll be able to make the boss play. There it is, though.
There is that.
I think
rope.
I almost feel like removing their draw power is going to be more valuable here.
Sure.
In the Comfey, because you'll be able to. Because if you're not going to get hand disrupted, you'll be able to set up the boss loss impact at some point. We see the boss is already in the hand. Actually, the boss loss impact is like available next turn.
Yeah, sure.
So they're basically there. At this point, to be honest, the water energy on the Greninja is looking pretty useless, but you know, if they wanted it there to have like the threat, the pressure of potentially being able to KO some Comfeys on the following turn.
It makes it harder for Team USA to be willing to put another Comfey into play for this exact reason, right? Like if there wasn't a water energy on the Greninja, maybe Team USA puts that other Comfey down so that they can promote it after this active gets theoretically KO'd to like a Cramorant, which is what we're going to actually see happen. But as it stands, Team USA is going to be forced to promote this 3 retreat cost Dragonite into the active spot.
Yeah, which is not great. They do have the switch card in hand. But I think they're heavily relying on the Pokestop and the Chorus to put it together here for sure.
You want to hear what Team USA is talking about?
Yeah, we'll see what they can make out of this mess.
Probably right.
I mean, we don't want to go to 3, right? Oh, sorry, that's impossible.
Yeah,
I'm just trolling. Lol.
Yeah. So I think okay. So I think the plan is Ninja this, right? They go to 2.
They're trying to.
Yeah, I
piece
think
it
we want a
together
Ninja here. I think that's our best play here.
That seems fine.
So do we gate now or after? Chorus. It's a question. Probably after, right? We probably want to. Although I could go gate and stop, because I'm gonna stop first. Or I guess I could. So I want to stop first, yeah. But I want to hit a water is why I don't want to use this gate now. If I would use it later.
Yeah, I don't think using gate beforehand is correct.
Yeah, that's fine. Enough.
Fine.
All right, yeah, they're definitely struggling to piece it together here. They're eyeing up the Greninja play, and that looks like a pretty decent Colress. They probably don't even need. Oh, they actually go for the Manaphy. I was gonna say I don't even know if they need the Manaphy at this point, because they have no liabilities really in play for the Greninja, right?
Unless they want to put 2 Comfey in play this turn, which they could do.
Yeah, they are getting 1 down here right now. 1 Comfey has entered the field. This is just looking really, really tough. Without, well, I think it's just gonna come down to some kind of Kyogre play though. I think the Kyogre play is gonna be has to basically be their win condition.
And that is the thing about this deck, right? Is you're really never out of it until like your opponent draws their last prize card. It feels like, you've at least got a shot to try to find a way to fight back. These are the best players in the world. They're going to do everything they can to play to every little out. If there's a 1% chance to win the game, they're going to play to that 1%.
Yeah, definitely. They're going for this Mirage Gate here. They do already have 2 in hand to be able to do the Greninja play, which it looks like they are eyeing up to do. But they really have to avoid...
they can lose this Super Odd. They've got 2 Super Odd in hand and the Recycler as well. So I think it's fine. It feels a little bad always to lose a recovery card like that. But I think to win this game, you're probably going to need most of those Mirage Gates to be utilized.
Yeah, I think so. So I think their route here is going to be like, let's see, Greninja KO Comfey, put damage on Cram, and then attack with Ogre.
The Cram.
I was going to say attack with Ogre first. Try not to deck out on the Ogre, and then Sableye clean up.
Okay.
That's like super tough to do. It's super tough to like set that lineup up. It's just super tough to set that lineup up. So I don't.
It's tough for this because like Kyogre wants to play around Roxanne as much as possible, right?
Yeah, they do have a counter catcher. Maybe they could get counter catcher. Ooh, maybe they could do something where they counter catcher punch the Tina, and then just do Sableye from there. Maybe like after this Greninja attack, KO Comfey, damage on Cram, punch Tina, Sableye, maybe. But then you're giving up those extra prize cards to that you're putting the Dragonite in the active for Australia to be able to get 2 prize cards off that as well. So yeah, it's looking tough here to be honest.
So they will take the prize here to go to 4. Let's see where this other 90 goes.
We're talking about the Cram.
Yeah.
I'd imagine that where it sticks. The only thing about
it could go on the it's gonna go on the Tina. Okay.
Maybe they try and Kyogre like next turn without decking out and then Sableye the Cram to win the game. There was Kyogre off the prize cards. They didn't play the heavy ball ahead of time, but they know they can't get hand disrupted, so just held on to that.
No reason to,
Yeah. Chip, your what's called card flipping's coming in a little loud through the
My bad.
Oh, I forgot to switch
Get a
sides.
little fidgety over here.
Yeah, let's see what they got on the other side. They are using a gate immediately. And I guess like this is where the escape rope could be pretty good, maybe. Did they keep
it's
it?
It's gone though.
They lost on it? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's probably just going to be Tina KO Dragonite, or because you really want to Tina KO it. I guess you maybe want to remove their draw power of the Greninja, right?
Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad. Does that ever give them... That could give them Dragonite into Kyogre to win, though. That doesn't mean that they're going to get Roxanne, right? But they've got, 15 cards in deck, 11 in hand. They could thin a lot. They could play to the board pretty aggressively as well.
Yeah.
So maybe it would be... I mean, that might be the situation we find ourselves in here. Team USA is going to, have to win this game. They're going to have to get Roxanne at some point.
Yeah, but I feel like you can't do it before... They only have one Roxanne, I guess, right? They only have one Roxanne.
Who? Well, Team USA's Roxanne is in the.
No, Australia lost on to
Australia
Roxanne.
They lost on to Roxanne as well.
I think so, yeah. So I think they have one Roxanne. So like, if you go into range and then can recover from the Roxanne, I guess would be the question. If you can pull that off, I guess there is like some hope. Here comes the Tina being pushed up here. I imagine this is going to be paired with a boss on the Dragonite.
Yeah. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, KOing the Tina with the Lost Impacts does not feel great.
Team USA is down 1 super odd. They've got 2 left, both of them in hand. So that's something else to think about as well, because they've only got the 1 Dragonite. So if they wanted to recover that to KO the Tina, potentially. You can't really do that. And then also, if they're going with a Sableye route, they're going to need to keep those super odds in mind because they've only got the one Sableye, right, to reuse those.
Yeah, they chose to actually get rid of the jet energy or the psychic there off the Tina instead of getting rid of the water off the Greninja. So still preserving that Greninja potential. And also, I think they had a path in hand and could have bumped the stop, but decided to leave it in play.
Yeah, it does look like there's a couple path in the hand, actually.
Yeah, just pulled one off the prize cards. Yeah.
Now Team USA thinking about what the send-up is here.
I have no clue
I mean-
it just feels so tough on this side, to be honest. It feels like without the Roxanne, like this is where you could Roxanne, right? Like you have a huge hand here. Maybe you could have even pulled off like Roxanne plus Dragonite attack, but now we just can't, right? It's not possible. So I don't even know what you put. I honestly just don't know what there's to put together from here. It feels tough.
They're going to think through it. I mean, of course, play to every single out that they can. Definitely feels like it's a steep mountain to climb. They've got Pokestop and Flower Selecting both available. They can see a lot of their deck this turn.
I think the Kyogre play is definitely possible. I think about going with Pokestop first.
Mirage Gate in the deck is another question I want to know the answer to.
Did you ask if they had both Mirage Gate in the deck?
Yeah, there's because they've played two, I think.
I think they're both in the hand right now. I think they have all the Mirage Gates in hand.
No, there's only one in their hand.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I guess is the last one prize or not? Tough choice.
Yeah,
keep
we're gonna see the
going.
Flower Selecting. I mean, I think that's the only play from here, but they're just trying to use all the time they can to think about every little decision, I'm sure.
They did find the chorus.
Escape Rope is pretty nice, though, at the end of the game to try to, if you want to Kyogre this Giratina or something like that.
Yeah. And also, end of the game, I feel like that might even be right now. Like,
it's got to be Kyogre this turn, you think? The good old
I don't know.
mid-game Ogre, or like the non-guaranteed Ogre?
Yeah. I mean, if you did it here, well, I mean, you could make it pretty much guaranteed. You could have like a 6-card deck with like 4 energy in it, right? Or 5 energy, theoretically. But
So what's the difference with going with the Kyogre here versus like Dragoniting this?
because then you get Roxanne. Oh, but if you
You're gonna
Dragonite
get
this, oh,
Roxanne
hold
if
on,
you
hold on.
Kyogre as well, or you're trying to Kyogre for
It's-
2 energy.
I didn't really. Yeah, if you Dragonite here, they don't have a response to Dragonite on board. I kind of just had that realization.
Yeah,
to be honest.
Dragonite here could be
But-
okay.
You do just went to 2 Sableyes. You just went to like Sableye, or Greninja Sableye. And once again,
Sure.
you don't have any hand disruption, so they have all these cards to work with, and yeah, no hand disruption to work with.
I mean, I think they're just gonna have to draw out of Roxanne to win this game. Is just what's gonna have to happen. Like you don't want to go into Roxanne. It sucks, but it might be what you have to do. You got to play to that small chance. They can burn a decent amount of these cards. We are seeing the Super Rod being played. What's going back here, Azul? What do you think?
I don't even know. I don't know what the play is here at all.
Dragonite angle, baby. Let's see it.
I feel like that is maybe the move, and then maybe you hope the Sableye is prize, because that feels like the strongest win condition on the other side then. Maybe if you still had Pidgeot around as well, you could have had like Dragonite plus Pidgeot in play to play around. Well, I guess the Escape Rope's not a possibility.
It's just all energy.
Yeah, just all energy into the gate. Is it just going to be
Let's see what's in deck here. They do have that last Mirage Gate. They've got Counter Catcher. They've got their Sableye.
They are loading up the Ogre.
Okay.
They have Chorus. They're going to Nest Ball for the Sableye, it looks like.
Yeah. Or Comfey.
Oh, I guess you need to dig through the deck a little bit more, right? So
Yeah, they've got double switch cart in hand. They're not gonna have anything left after this turn, I don't think. Like that's another issue you have to consider is like how do you continue the game after this turn?
the win condition would have to be Sableye after that. There's the Chorus. There's the water they're definitely looking for. They got a counter catcher
And-
as well, so they can counter catcher the Cram.
Catcher's pretty good, yeah.
This actually might work out. Is there 2 Psychics in the deck right now?
I think so.
Does that actually work? Because they could put 3 more energy back into the deck. Do they just go for it right now? They probably do, right?
I mean,
just
with
hope it
all
works out.
they're committed. I think they have to be committed at this point.
And they get to
You also
retain
could
a
switch cart.
get the energy off the Greninja, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking, and then go for the recycler.
Mm-hmm. And you get to preserve the
again-
Super Rod.
Well, do you want the Super Odd to potentially bring back Sableye if
Yeah.
they like
That's what I'm
Sableye
saying,
your
yeah.
Sableye?
You can
Well,
preserve
I mean, I
the-
assume they would want to put Sableye down here, but they didn't draw into it. They could also.
I
Oh,
feel
no,
like that was
okay.
about a misclick onto the Comfy.
I was a little scared for a second. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We have the Super Rod to preserve to be able to get to recover the Sableye. I guess Manaphy has to come down here as well, right? Because you have to play around the Greninja Snipe to just win the game. So we have to bench.
That's true. Yeah.
You gotta bench the
Manaphy has to
Manaphy.
be put into play. Yeah.
Unless the other waters are in the lost zone, which could happen, I guess. Oh, they are only playing. I think both of them are only playing the 2 water.
And this is. So what? There's 2 Psychic in deck, so they like don't knock anything out here, so they're not going to get Roxanne still.
No. If we shuffle 3 energy back to the deck, we could KO the.
They could go.
We could hit 4. I think you'd want to
and leave them
4.
with nothing in play but the Cramorant.
Yeah, I think that's what you want to do here. That makes the most sense to me. You hope to hit 4. Now they're
Yeah.
debating whether or not the Mawile is worth the grab, but probably not because you're going to get Roxanne on the next turn almost for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely are 100% expecting Roxanne to be the play from Team Australia here.
One more energy in the discard pile would have been. Why? And how many they got here? That's
Australia, honestly, well, they might have to like shred the Kyogre this coming turn, to be honest.
okay. That would, yeah, they could shred the. Yeah, I mean they that or just Sableye would still work. Also, they might have access to Counter Catcher as well because they'd be behind in the prize exchange all of a sudden, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's possible.
This is shaping up to be a really interesting one.
Yeah, let's tune
We
into the
could see a
comms
comeback.
here.
This would be a pretty wild comeback, to be honest, from Team USA.
Yeah, let's tune into the comms here at the end here from USA and see what they're cooking
Yeah.
with this turn here.
Shoot the energy off of our ninja, then we'll have 7 in deck and 5 energies, right?
Well, okay, because if we put the 2 in, we have 4 energy, 6 cards in deck. We just can't bottom deck energy. We probably do put the energy in, right?
Yeah.
I think it makes it more likely.
Yep.
And now there's no way that we can comfy, right? Then we don't have enough cards in our deck. We have to play Rod. That doesn't work. Yeah, okay.
All right.
Okay, so it's Gate, Sableye, Psychic in there now, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
and
we're
then we're
gonna
gonna
retreat and then
recycler back into
And we're gonna
it.
retreat and then recycler. All right.
Yes.
Then CC. All right, cool.
All right,
Here it
Chip.
is.
Yeah, it sounds like they came to the same conclusion as us. They've retrieved the Greninja. Here comes the recycler. So they have 5 energy in deck. They're not guaranteed to hit 4 here.
They're not.
They could.
You found yourself in a similar type situation, a non-guaranteed ogre, not
Non-guaranteed
too
ogre.
long ago.
I could have guaranteed it though. I should have guaranteed it. And here we go. Aqua Storm looking for
Let's see
4.
it. Need 4. 1, 2,
That's
3,
4.
4.
They did hit the Sableye as well though, but they preserved a Psychic and a no. Yeah, they preserved a Psychic and a
Psychic
Gate here.
and Gate.
Gate's
Psychic
pretty
Gate are
good.
the last 2 cards. Yeah,
But none of these prize cards are good, right?
I don't think
Not
so.
great,
1
no.
energy.
Use with
To
concealed
Greninja.
cards. Let's see what Australia is going to cook up as a response. They got Roxanne now. They got Gates. They don't have a great attacking option though, but they only have Cram. And they might
They
have to hit
could
the stop.
for a nest ball. Hopefully, is like what they're hoping for here. I think.
All right, Chip, you're
They
back
also
at
have
it with the.
Comfey. You don't want to put a. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Oh, that's
They
the
did get a
nest
nest
ball.
ball.
That was the big hit, right? That's what we were looking for.
Yeah. Now they could Tina Shred. They could Super Rod.
They do
I don't
play
think that does
Manaphy.
anything.
So if Manaphy didn't get lost on already, which I'm not sure, then it's possible to like have Manaphy to protect against like a follow-up Ogre play. So you could Sableye instead, I guess. We'll see what they go for here, though. They're going for the Nest Ball immediately. They do have Super Rod and are not playing Super Rod before the Nest Ball. So that means
Yeah.
they're not recovering the Greninja. That's like the only thing they would recover here.
Yeah.
So it is going to
Yeah.
be the Shred.
Yeah.
All right, Chip. Got to put the
No
cards
energy
down.
in the. Huh?
Got to put the cards down.
Sorry, bro. Sorry.
It's just
Sorry.
like a natural reaction.
It
Pick up the
is.
cards, shuffle the cards.
Yes.
It's all right, you're
I
good.
just get fidgety. No, at the casting desk, I always have a pin that I'm like fiddling and like twirling around in my fingers.
All right. So it does have to be shred into shred here. I don't think there's a possibility. Like the only win condition for the US side here is Sableye. But it's going to be so hard to get to. I don't even know if it's possible. They need like
Do they have a?
They have a
they
Super Rod.
Colress. No, they
No
don't have a
Nest
Colress.
Ball.
They have no Colress left.
Yeah, no Colress.
Geez.
they have a gate.
They've got double switch carts. They've got they could piece things together because they've still got a Pokestop, they've still got basic energy, they've got a couple switch carts, but they're going to need a lot off of Roxanne because we're expecting to see a Roxanne here and also Path to the Peak, and that's another piece. It's going to shut down the Greninja, so I think Team USA is definitely going to have to get pretty lucky.
Yeah, it'd be tough. They have,
and even if they get lucky, it might not be enough.
Yeah, they have like they could draw into their second stop, which has the potential to find Gate or Super Rod. If they draw into the Lightning Energy plus this Pokestop.
If they draw into like Stop plus Energy specifically, that would be pretty good.
Yeah, like if they get Stop, Energy, Super Rod, and they're able to use Stop, get Mirage Gate, but they got to get the Sableye too. There's just so much. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. It's tough for sure. Yeah, here comes the Super Rod. They're recovering some stuff before they hit this. Before they hit this Roxanne. The Mirage Gate. I guess they're playing around. I was curious. I don't know what they're playing around really with that. Getting the Tina back. Getting the energy back kind of made sense. The Tina V-Star. Maybe in case a Dragonite ends up in the active, I guess, so they can't shred it. That's the only thing I can think about. I don't think a Dragonite's attacking, but it could end up in the active.
Yeah, if they're attacking with Dragonite, the game's over, right?
Yeah. And I believe there was a boss left, so they got the energy on the Cram to make sure the Cram can move. This one's looking pretty good.
Oh, you mean if they? I see. Like they're playing around. Like if they just push Dragonite to like buy a turn.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're gonna full thin all these switch cards as well.
Yeah. Because even the Mawile trapping the Cram's not gonna do anything. Yeah, they're just burning everything here.
Yep.
And then here's the Roxanne.
Yeah. Not burning the Pokegear still has value, so they're gonna hold on to that. Roxanne, just 2 cards. We're gonna take a sneak peek.
Do you ever counter catcher the Greninja here actually? Oh no, because you want to play around Super Rod plus Aqua Storm. Never mind,
never mind. That is something they could potentially do. Yeah, KO and Kyogre here always feels correct. They go to 1 prize card. It is 1 prize card apiece. Let's see if Team USA can fight out of this.
There's a Super
They're
Rod.
They're gonna need a lot.
Oh, it's a boss. But I don't even think.
Can they ever get? Wait. If they Super Rod back Cramorant, I don't think.
No, I don't think so. Otherwise, they got to. Yeah, I don't think there's a combination of cards here.
And hitting this energy is really bad too.
Yeah, now they would need Mirage Gate. They just don't have enough pieces left. Honestly, milling the Sableye was bad. They can't get enough
cards in their hand.
Yeah, I think like a big thing actually would have been if they had been able to bench the Sableye.
Yeah.
Get the Sableye on the bench, so it didn't get milled from the Kyogre. That would have been big. It wouldn't have led to a win in this situation specifically. Also, maybe like Super Rod and Cram back to the deck. Because there's the opposing Cram. They did have boss left, but they wouldn't have been able to get it on the bench, which would have been the big part, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I don't even know if that makes like that big of a difference. So this one almost feels like a formality at this point. I think this is going the way of Australia here in game 2.
Yeah. There's Pokestop, but what can they? It's the Mirage Gate too, though.
Yeah, because the things that the Pokestop could reach was the Super Rod or the Mirage Gate, and now both.
If they
are
had
gone.
like Nest Ball plus a Switch Cart left, they could win with Cramorant and Boss, but they don't.
They were
have
honestly
a Nest Ball
really
left.
close. They were like
They
honestly
really close.
They're just like a card away. Yeah, if they had the Cram, then that would do it as well. No way to get the Cram though. No energy for the concealed cards.
Should they have Super Rodded to start the turn to put Cramorant in their hand or in their deck, right? Super Rod to start the turn, put Cramorant in your deck.
Well, you need
so that way if
Stop.
you see it off flower selecting and you find specifically Stop and you can find Stop into Switch Cart into Boss's orders, you win the game.
But that's never generating a card. It's only over going 1 for 1. So if you get the Cram off the first Comfy, you can't get to the next Comfy. You need to hit the Stop is the thing that generated the extra card there, right?
They didn't have a Switch already?
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Could be wrong
I don't
on that.
remember for sure.
All right, Australia goes up 2-0.
2-0.
While the players are figuring out what they're going to send up next, I do want to give a quick shout out to the sponsors for the event today, Game Grid and TC Evolutions. Check them out over at GameGridSLC.com. They got Temporal Forces available for pre-order, so if you're looking for Temporal Forces, they got you covered. GameGridSLC.com, link in the description if you're on YouTube, and in the panels down below if you're on Twitch. Check them out. And also TC Evolutions. They make the highest quality damage counters, markers, dice in the Pokemon space. Highest quality accessories out there. So check them out, tcevolutions.com. Check them out as well. Appreciate them sponsoring the event today. Yeah, pretty hyped for it. Excited for it. And yeah, shout out to them for helping out with everything. Appreciate it. I did see in the chat. I I think they're ready to go. I'm not 100% sure. I saw Reagan call first, so
Yeah,
I
all
would assume that
caps
means
first.
yeah.
Which made me think that he is ecstatic to be playing some Chien-Pao, but it actually looks like they're queuing up something different.
Yeah, it looks like they're actually going for Gardevoir here. It's going to be interesting.
And I
they
think it's
haven't
going to be a
gone-
Gardevoir mirror, it's looking like.
They haven't gone back. They haven't gone back. Of course, Australia's the only team who has won.
Yeah.
Team US has given up on each deck they've lost with so far. They haven't ran it back. They could. You could run it back if you wanted to, but choosing to switch it up instead is interesting.
Yeah, and this is going to be huge here as well. It does look like it's going to be the Gardevoir mirror. So kind of interesting, you know, with 5 different decks that we would see a mirror match run into each other. They did choose a lot of similar decks, so, you know, it probably would happen at some point. But the fact that it is this Gardevoir mirror match and Team USA is going first, I mean, in the mirror, going first is definitely a huge edge.
Yeah, you definitely want to be going first. Not quite what you're looking for, missing a basic Pokemon there, but almost what they wanted there. That would have actually been
Yeah,
pretty decent.
wouldn't have been a bad hand.
Yeah, would have liked it if they had that roll.
No basic
start.
psychic energy, I guess.
Yeah, would have had the Iono for the turn 2 for the step, so they were close to it. But not quite. Yeah, is it a confirmed Gardevoir mirror? We can take a look at that hand on the other side.
Yep.
It is a Gardevoir mirror. Okay. And we see Australia's hand's not super good. They are going second. So they will have potential if they get a draw supporter to work with.
Starting the Greninja here, going second. What do you think's going on there with that decision?
I mean, it's probably to play around like Lost Box and stuff like that, I would imagine.
What if they brought the Snorlax right off the bat? I mean, they do have the Turo, I guess, right? But
I guess true. I guess they're just kind of making that call. Get back over here to Team US. Their opening hand is okay, but there's a refinement in hand, which means it's not going to be. They're not going to be set up super well for a super powerful Mirage step.
yeah, they could research into Super Rod next turn, but you don't love burning a Super Rod that early.
You're kind of hoping that your opponent Ionos here more so than anything.
Yeah, they have a pretty decent hand otherwise, though. I mean, VIP pass, get a couple routes probably. They might be debating going for Mew. I think the Americans are the ones that are playing the Mew. Australia is not playing Mew. Is that right? Or
No,
do I have it
Australia.
backwards?
Yeah, you have it backwards. Australia's
Okay.
playing the Mew. So I think they are going to play for a Mirage step here. You probably just want to get down like triple rolls. So one of them can become a Curlia, leave one
let's see
open
that
for
prize
Candy.
check here. Check how many Super Rod are prized as well. That's another part of it. If you use a Super Rod early and your other one is prized, it can get a little sketchy. They do have all their other Curlias in the deck, it looks like.
Yeah, you'll probably just be
Don't
trying
think-
to evolve one Ralts to a Curlia and then hope to not draw into any more refinements. And you'll have to like get a
Yeah.
not a get the
Oh, yeah,
step
yeah,
for
yeah.
1 or step for
Yeah.
2 instead of step for 3.
Yeah, for sure. And they do have the Fog Crystal in hand, so they can guarantee the energy attachments. And they also even just have a basic energy in their hand. Hold on, wait a second. I see 0 Super Rod in the deck.
Really? Was there 0?
Yeah,
Did
I think
prize?
they prized both their Super Rod.
Oh no, that's not great. Yeah, see, they're going for the triple Ralts here, so they'll be able to
Yeah.
step for 2 pretty comfortably. Yep. And now that's not that big of a deal yet. Like this is not. But
There's nothing like Avery in either of these decks. That's where things can
Yep.
get a little awkward potentially. But there's also a lot to balance here, right? There's the Cresselia, there's the Manaphy, there's the Jirachis, there's the Scream Tails, right? Like, how do you approach the situations in this mirror match where like your opponent, whatever you try to attack with, they theoretically have a response for, and whatever you put a response for in play, they have another way to attack around.
well, the Cresselia is already opened up here from Team USA, which like helps Australia in that regard. But Australia opened Greninja, which is kind of like the same thing here, where it's like now you lose a bench space to be able to utilize a Cresselia or a Screamtail or put down Manaphy or Jirachi to play around one or the other. And I'm actually not sure how far you want to commit. Like I think you want your opponent to commit first. Like, if your opponent commits to Screamtail, then you want to bench Manaphy plus Cresselia, one of their Curlias, right? But yeah, it looks like the step prized here actually, I think, on the Australian side. I think it might be. So they definitely want to be more, and with their step prize, they want to try and be the aggressor. Yes, step is prized. So they want to get a bunch of Ralts down. They want to look for like turn 2 Candy Gardevoir. That's what I think you usually want. Like if you're behind, if you just don't have the option of step, I think you just want to be Candy and out Gardevoir and going for the aggression.
and attacking with probably something like Screamtail, most likely.
Yeah, start to remove
that
the
can KO
Curlios.
just about anything, whether it's something in the bench or the active spot. No one's going to be pushing Zacian on turn 2, I don't think. So
Yeah, and we see that aggressive play there as well, using the concealed cards instead of attaching the Psychic to set up for like the retreat. They had the Fog Crystal on hand, so they'll definitely be able to retreat the Greninja to the Mew. But wants to maximize outs to Ralts and being able to retreat. Now they got an energy off that. They could dig a little bit deeper. They can go like Artisan Fog for 2 more Ralts. Retreat, use the Mysterious Tail to try and dig deeper for that Candy Guardian on the next turn or something like that.
I'm sure they're talking about the sequence here of like how exactly they want to do this. When do they use the Artisan? When do they use the Mew? Do they want to commit to putting the Artisan in play because it also helps your opponent, right? Can you make it work with just 1 Ralts or just 2 Ralts, I should say?
When you don't have the
lot to consider.
Yeah, we don't have the step. You definitely want that 3rd Ralts. And we see they are throwing out the Artisan here because if US does go for the step themselves,
right? But what I'm saying though is like they could retreat, and before they commit to the Artisan, they could see if they get like a level ball or a Fog Crystal off the Mew. Yeah.
Oh, and then or get a Battle VIP pass, right? And then
or get a VIP pass.
Yeah, that's true. I guess that's true. You probably do want to hold the Fog Crystal for sure. So I guess this does increase their odds. And they didn't prize a Ralt as well, so they could go. They probably don't want to put down 4 Ralts though, because they want to be able to have access to Screamtail or Shining Arcana on the next turn. So you probably don't want to quad Ralt your bench here.
Yeah, and honestly, with 2 bench spaces being committed to Greninja and Mew to like support Pokemon, it does limit your more defensive plays. With you're not able to put down both Jirachi and Manaphy, for example.
Yeah, yes. And I don't think you ever end up in a board state really where you have both Jirachi and Manaphy down. It's usually you let your opponent commit to Cresselia or Screamtail first, and then you protect against that one while going after their Curlias. And now if they really want to chase your Curlias with the other one, they can. But then all of a sudden they have both in play of the Screamtail and the Cresselia. And, that's that much less room for Ralts and Curlias and Gardevoirs to like further set up your more powerful Pokemon, specifically like your draw power. That's like the big thing, the refinements, the Shiny Arcana draw power.
Ooh, they are going to use this Fog Crystal here.
Yeah, need that triple Ralts.
Yeah, but they could have level balled for Ralts, right? So I think is this level ball going to get Jirachi then?
No. We're just going to hold it for refinement
Hold it for another... Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you play around your opponent having Candy Guardy here. If they have Candy Guardy when you prize...
They would also need a lot of Psychic Energy in the discard pile still.
Yeah. I think they only have the one there. So I think we assume it's just not happening here on the Australian side. But it could happen. It is possible that Candy Guardy happens. And then they could start to be aggressive and then kind of force the Candy Guardy response and force them out of the option of the Mirage step.
So what's Team USA thinking about here? They've got a couple of stadiums in hand. They've got a couple supporter options as well. You could research, get more aggressive. Obviously, you're evolving this Curlia regardless. But how valuable are the stadiums, right? Do you want to save them and go for an Iono? Your opponent did not play a supporter on their opening turn. So is that something else you consider as well?
That's true. The collapse can be important in the late game to remove your only guard EX off the board. It's a lot easier to do that if you do pull off a Mirage step initially. But yeah, do you want to Iono your opponent after they didn't play a supporter on their first turn? Of course, that doesn't tell you that much about their setup. I think them going for the triple Ralts, though, kind of telegraphs they either prize Mirage Step or they're not going for Mirage Step, one or the other.
Their hand can support not going for it. Maybe they have 2 refinement or something in their hand plus a research, right? Like they would hold that hand.
Are they actually going to grab the Screamtail here? Are they going for Candy Gardevoir here on the US side? Not going to leave open that room for the Mirage Step.
They can see a lot of cards here, right? If they're going research, they're going full aggressive.
Oh, whoa. They're just going full aggressive here.
Yeah, and there's a Ultra Ball. There's another Curlia. All they need here is a rare candy. They do need 2 more energy to be found, I think. I don't think there's any in the discard pile just yet, except that one that just got refinemented away.
Well, the Screamtail will be able to attack for sure.
Oh, right. Yeah, it doesn't need the full 4, of course. It can just, if you get 2 energies on it, they get the rare candy. That's huge.
This felt like a really aggressive play. It didn't feel like necessary for them to take this route. It felt like going the Mirage Step or just like not using Artisan and then playing Research first and seeing what you drew. Felt fine. But they went full aggressive, played for the Candy Gardevoir, got the Candy Gardevoir, and now they're going to be able to get that.
If they were going for this, should they have played the Ultra Ball first before they used that last refinement? Increase your chances a little bit more.
It's a little bit.
You keep your options open, I guess, still regardless, right?
It does it definitely mitigates against the potential that you whiff So now you could like go get a third Kirlia or something and just use refinement again. So I think I like the idea of playing it slower. They do lose a lot of comeback cards here.
Pretty costly Ultra Ball for sure. But when you're the one who's being aggressive, it is a little less likely that you're going to use both of those cards. We do see they had 2 Counter Catcher and 2 Reversal Energy in hand. So they at least still have one of each of those pieces as options later in the game. And yeah, here we go. Psychic Embrace, 2 energy to the active. And Roaring Scream can take a prize, I have to imagine, on a Ralts on the bench.
But KOing the Mew here, I think, would reduce the odds of the response Candy Guardy the most, right? So I almost don't hate KO Mew here.
Yeah, but when you saw your opponent go aggressive for all these Ralts, like you said, you kind of are thinking that it's pretty likely that they're...
the Mirage Step, which means they want the aggressive Candy Guardy, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like KOing the Mew would, like, make that the hard... It would make it hardest here to get the Candy Guardy here if you take out the Mew. But
Team Australia's hand is not great at the moment. Obviously, there's a lot of potential here.
Yeah, the refinements are on the way, but you don't want to do double refinement. You want Candy Guardy here. So I don't think you want to go down 2 prize cards.
And what do you want to attack with here? Is it like your own Screamtail to respond to the active Screamtail?
I'd probably Screamtail a Curlia here. I think we got to get rid of
yeah, sure.
I think we got to get rid of the Curlia. So like, I don't refinement away the Ultra Ball here. It looks good to me, and then tail for the candy. Is there how many energy in the discard pile? Is there a couple here at this point? We're down to 2. It should be like 2 or 3, right? Because we use Greninja plus retreated or have it on the Ralts.
I think there is 2, yeah.
We'll see what... Oh, they get rid of the Shiny Arcana. Give up on the Shiny Arcana here. Energy. But that gives us Greninja draw power. We're not done yet.
Yeah. It gives us something still. And they still have Mew. Don't forget.
There's
There's the rare candy. Okay, hold on for a second.
I feel like this is like pre-Iono Guardy Mirrors, where everyone was playing for turn 2 Candy Guardy, like every single game. And we got it here now. It's Candy Guardy, Candy Guardy. Yeah, I don't know. The Shiny Arcana discard was interesting because it feels like the Ultra Ball is just pretty tough to use out of this hand.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. And they also could have level balled for the Screamtail ahead of time as well, right? They could have gone more aggressive for that. But yeah, they got to play.
In there? It wasn't prized or anything, was it?
I'm not 100% sure. Definitely have to pay. We definitely should pay a little bit more attention, I guess, to the prize cards when they go search for them.
Track, man. Yeah.
We did notice the Mirage Step was prized. That we did notice. But to be honest, it would have been like, would you have even wanted to Mirage Step here, even if you had it? Like your opponent got the turn 2,
have, right? With the collapse in play as well. Like
yeah. Even if we had to answer the collapse, do we really want to give up 2 prize cards before we like draw a prize card? That sounds kind of tough. That sounds tough for sure.
Tail finds another rare candy. Is actually just going to thin the VIP pass.
Combos with the Ultra Ball, right?
Yeah. I think that's definitely a little better here. You're not going to use the rare candy for several turns, most likely.
Yeah. To be honest, they could just, if they're trying to get another Ralts off this level, they could just attack with Guardy EX.
Yeah, I was just thinking that as well. It could be a little risky. I mean, as Team USA, you are the aggressor already. Like, would you be fine to just respond to that with like your own Zacian or something like that? Just go in, just full commit to this prize trade line.
I think you would, but it'd be hard to get there, right? It's gonna be hard to get 9.
You need a bit of energy, yes.
Yeah, you need a lot of energy in the discard pile. And you've already kind of limited yourself with the collapse, so like the chance that you get off your own Greninja or something like that is gonna be tough.
Yeah, let's see if the Screamtail might not be in there. Yeah, it doesn't. Oh no, it is in there. Okay, so we are just gonna get a Ralts here.
Yeah, so
interesting that the level ball didn't get played before using the Mysterious Tail.
Yeah, maybe they weren't sure where they were kind of sitting at with that choice as well. Like maybe they weren't sure if they wanted to Guardy EX. Actually, they're going with a boss. Oh, are they going to boss a Curlia? Okay.
Plus knock it out with the Gardevoir EX. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So this feels like the best of both worlds, right?
Sure.
And also going to preserve the energy in the hand. It looks like so that way they have draw power with the concealed cards next turn as well.
Yeah, they could also just attach from hand, but I don't think it fixes any math to attach from hand to the Guardy EX, right?
Oh, they're going for it. Does it? What is it? We go from
310 down to 260.
270. We go down to 250 if we get another one out of the discard pile. Does that really make a difference? Because now we have no energy for the concealed cards. And okay, maybe they just knew.
They just knew.
Yeah, maybe they just knew. All right, so U.S. in the lead here in this game. I think for the first time they're actually in the lead. I don't think they've been in the lead. Well, they were in the lead at the end of the Tina game, but they didn't feel like they were in the lead. Now it feels like they're in the lead for the first time.
Azul, I think the people want to hear a little bit more of the team comms, which I'm totally down for.
Sure. You want to go ahead and tune in, see what U.S. is thinking on this turn?
Yeah.
Already,
right?
we want to draw cards, right?
I don't think we do this turn. I think we just hold it at least for one more turn. Like we only have this Curlia, we don't have rods, and so I feel like we need to kind of keep our draw options where we have them.
We need to get a Ralts though, right?
Yeah. Ultra Ball, Moonlit Hill.
That seems fine.
Sure. It's either that or like discard reversal instead. Or the counter catcher, but if we want to keep Ultra Ball.
Okay, so which attacker do you think we use this turn?
Wait, do we have a choice? How many
Yeah,
psychics are in our discard?
Yeah, we could.
46. Oh no, we can't.
Yeah, we don't have a
can't.
choice.
Yeah.
All right, not thinking
Capped at
this day.
60.
Yeah. That would have been wild.
Hey man, I'm not that terrible.
So they can worst case scenario here. I mean, it looks like they're going with the Cresselia, right? This turn.
Well, no, they can't do the Cresselia. They just talked about that. They could Cresselia the Mew, but they
The
can't
Mew.
Cresselia the Curlia. But I feel like the Curlia has got to go down here, right? You want to remove the Curlia
Okay,
from your
sure.
opponent's side of the field. But that would be interesting for them not to evolve the Curlia to the Shiny Arcana here, because okay, they're actually
gonna
going
do
for
it.
it. But they were talking about not doing it, right? That's what it felt
They
like.
should have done that before they got that Ralts, right?
Yeah, because playing that Ultra Ball is pretty costly to then have used the Shiny
Yeah.
Arcana, it feels like. Yeah, not a big fan of that sequence there. I think they were, at first, they liked the idea of keeping the Curly around, so that way next turn they could go Refinement, Shiny Arcana. But then they realized, wait, our Curly is just going to get knocked out, and then we have no Curlias in play, and then we have no draw power, and then we probably lose. So I think they remedied that there by evolving to the Shiny Arcana, which I think makes the most sense. Now they dispose of the only Curly in play on the Australian side. And this has become a pretty interesting game of Gardevoir, because the Ionos are going to start to hit pretty hard here soon for both players. No Super Rod pulled off the prize cards yet either.
Can we go hear what Team Australia is thinking about this?
Yeah, let's tune in.
It's terrible. They did not draw an Iono off of the prizes.
Last one. Kalia.
Yeah, we should just go Charles on Kelly. We're a little bit away from this Arcana, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, the only issue with getting the Ralts is that we don't have the bench space.
Yeah, we will eventually see one.
Punish when vacuum here, because
Yeah, because our hand's tiny.
yeah. Hopefully, we just unprize the supporter at some point.
Hey, CC, you know, it's a solid card.
Yeah, we can. Oh my god.
It's like a really good card. But are we even playing this Ultra Ball? Like, I'm not gonna lie, we're just gonna get Curly, draw 2 cards, and then it's gonna
I
die.
think we just do the Arcana and then
Okay, what if we Ultra Ball for Ralts?
Yeah,
Catcher,
I think
the
the
Shiny
ultimate
Arcana is
falls.
pretty good here, right?
Yeah.
yeah, I actually agree.
Yeah, Shiny Arcana. Counter Catcher Shiny Arcana does seem like the play. That was like a pretty good draw. Like that's what James was saying, right? That's pretty good. Like, can't win the Screamtail is like kind of whatever. No one really cares about Screamtail.
Yeah.
The Ultra Balls are super costly though here, right? Like this Ultra Ball is like, you can't. It's so hard to play this Ultra Ball. And if you do go get a Curlia, you have to Refinement away a Super Rod. And if you get a Ralts, the Ralts it maybe is like the way to go here. Just get a Ralts, put it on the bench, and you hope to piece something together. I think they were talking as if they had prized a decent amount of supporters as well, so they could just hope to pull one off the prize cards here as well. Still not checking the Screamtail though, right? The Screamtail's just going to come back up and KO a Ralts and do it again, right? Or what we could see is maybe we could see the Reach for Zacian this turn if like a Research is seen. Oh, and there's the Research off the prize cards for Australia.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if we see a Zacian KO here would be like the best play. But yeah, with the current hand here, I think it's just going to be Screamtail's going back in. He's doing it again.
Okay, another Ralts. Screamtail's out here taking names. Yeah. There is really not much going on here. I mean, you could concealed cards away the reversal energy.
I think you got it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, find a refinement here.
Yeah, you just got to do something. They could boss the Greninja, make it a little more annoying for the Australians to move. But I mean, that doesn't seem great. Yeah, sure enough, Greninja comes down. And there's the Iono. Okay. They only have 2 cards in their hand, so they didn't do much last turn either. So you probably...
Yeah, I wouldn't hate to see Boss Greninja trap it, or if you Boss KO'd Greninja with your own Guardi EX.
Also, Iono does let you dig for the Zacian KO here, potentially.
That would be a tall order. I don't even know if they have enough. I don't know if that's possible. Like, based on the amount of cards you'd see. Because Zacian's going to go to the bottom of your deck.
Yeah.
Gotta find him again. Gotta get enough psychics in the discard pile. I think that the Zacian KO here, I think, would be if you could pick any play to do.
Yeah.
But they're gonna go for the Cresselia play here, and the boss on the. I don't think you Iono here though, right? Like Iono in here feels pretty weak. To reset your opponent's hand after they did nothing last turn.
Yeah, and they probably aren't since they're already using Psychic Embrace, right? If they were going to play the Iono, I would expect to see them sequence it more properly, right? So I think it is going to be the Cresselia Moonglow reverse onto a Ralts.
Yeah, I also don't love the boss on the Greninja either. I feel like you want to save your, especially when you're ahead like this, you want to save because you don't have counter catcher to make the comeback gust effect. So I think I like the holding the boss there as well. Save it as a win condition. Don't try and get too cheesy on the Greninja. Still no Super Rod for US here.
Australia's kind of got the gas though with this hand in this exact situation. Fog Crystal, Super Rod. You can do a lot with that, and then you have research as well to just dump the hand, draw a bunch of cards.
Yeah, do they have another counter catcher left here? Because if they do, they could counter catcher KO the lone Ralts in play, which would seem like the best play.
We'll see in the deck here. Yep, sure enough, counter catcher is still there.
They go for the Cresselia grab as well. So that would also be a way to go after this Ralts as well, right? It's just Cresselia KO it, and they're lining that up. So they will at least be able to Cresselia it.
Have the option, yep.
So I guess that's always better than counter catcher anyways, probably, to be honest. And they found the refinement.
Yeah, and they have concealed cards as well with this energy. They're going to start with that.
I guess would there ever be merit to like KOing the Ralts with the Guardi EX, or should you always just Cresselia it? Probably always Cresselia it, right?
Yeah, take the longer this Gardevoir stays in the active, the more chance of just Zacian swinging through it increases, right? So
yeah,
keep this. You've gotten a lot of value from this as an attacker already. It's taken 2 prizes for you. I think that's usually pretty good in this mirror match if you can get 2 prizes out of your 2 prize Guardi EX. Get it out of there. Don't let it go down.
Yeah, I guess you're actually kind of like eventually asking to just beat. Well, the energy's like spread thin now on the bench on that side too, though. But like, I guess the thing is you're always just gonna get like you might not Cresselia it again. That's possible, but you would just get Scream-tailed again for sure. You would just end up getting Scream-tailed. So you're not like preventing something from getting a knockout on your opponent's turn.
Yeah.
So, yeah, probably makes sense for you to just utilize your own Cresselia, spread out some energy, heal some damage, stuff like that. There we go. We did see US take the early lead, but it does. I feel like Australia is in a more commanding position now at this point for how things have panned out.
And they did take an Iono off the prizes there.
Yeah, another supporter. They knew they were a prize. They're like, we're gonna look for them. Still, and once again, still no Super Rod found for US here. No Ralts. They're out of Ralts. They're out of Ralts.
Yeah, 2 in the discard pile, 1 in the prizes.
2 Super Rod prize as well. The last 3 prize cards are Ralts double Super Rod.
And that's not ideal.
Definitely not ideal. Not looking great.
Team USA with the rough go of things to kick off this crew battle. They're just gonna grab something that they can put to the bottom here with the Iono, I think.
Yeah, thin out the deck a little bit. I guess they value the Manaphy or the Jirachi a little bit higher. They might even bench the Zacian here.
How much of this comes back to the way Team USA played their turn 2?
What'd they go for on that turn 2?
They went that aggressive Scream-tail KO.
What was the alternative? I don't think they really had that great of an alternative.
They maybe didn't have a great alternative,
yeah,
honestly.
I don't think so. They got an energy to draw with Greninja here, which is good. They could have benched the Zacian there, to be honest. I didn't hate the bench of the Zacian there, because it's like another piece you're going to have to find to be able to ever close out this game. Now it's going to be Scream-tail KO Curlia, right? Is there another play to be had?
Scream-tail KO Curlia seems pretty good. The amount of Curlia hate and Ralts hate that we've seen in this battle is kind of ridiculous, to be honest.
That's just the Guardian Mirror, though, right? That's
They've
all
just
you do.
never stood a chance, man. They never get a chance.
Yeah, and that's all you do, right? That's what made the mirror match. That's what made the mirror match so honestly bad. I feel like that once Scream-tail came out, like you had just no defense against the Scream-tail Cresselia combo. It's just like if you bench Manaphy or Jirachi, the other one punches you. You don't want to bench Manaphy and Jirachi because then your bench sucks. So yeah, they're just coming at you one after the other.
There's the damage on the Scream-tail, the 2 energy. You want to hop in and hear what they're saying?
Yeah, where we're going to the US side here, see what they're putting together.
I mean, we have to assume we're getting Iono'd, right? They have 4 left.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna Iono.
I'm down to slam the energy.
On
And
the
at which
Guardian?
point maybe we play the level ball then, because we know Zacian and Boss are both at the bottom.
Yeah, okay.
We think we're gonna get Iono.
No, I like shuffling too. Yeah, shuffle the deck.
always an important thing to keep in mind.
Okay. Okay, wait. This turn we probably bench one of these two, right now.
Yeah, should we take which one?
I mean, we
Probably-
take Jirachi, so we can't. Or no.
Probably is Jirachi, right?
Well, I mean, they're not gonna use Moonglow Reverse.
I mean, they could Moonglow the active, or no, if we take Manaphy, then they can Moonglow the guy on the bench. But they're probably just gonna Moonglow the Screamtail. In all honesty, right? This is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, because it's easier.
Yeah, so they're just gonna Moontail the Screamtail for kill, and then we have to crest. We have to draw a rod and crest them probably. It's gonna be so hard. Okay, I
Rising 2 rods in the last 3 is crazy.
actually don't know which one's better.
It's not great.
All right, yeah, they're putting it together here. The yeah, it's crazy here. Goes with the draw.
Oh wait, I thought they said they were going with Manaphy, but no,
I
they go
honestly think
Jirachi.
Manaphy might have been a little bit better here because you're.
Yeah.
I guess you're forcing the Cresselia to KO your Screamtail, but that's what they have to do anyways, it feels like. So if you get Manaphy, and then maybe you go Guardi EX KOs Cresselia on your following turn, then Manaphy protects from like a potential Screamtail snipe. So I feel like the Manaphy was maybe a little bit better here. They like they said, they do plan on getting Iono'd here. They think that's probably what is going to happen.
Oh, and they still have.
Oh my! Oh, there wasn't a Ralts
Wait, where's
prize.
the other Ralts?
I think they had all 4 then. They must have had all 4.
Okay, and then the last 2 prizes are literally just 2 super odd. What the
Jeez.
heck?
They still have the win condition though of Zacian Boss. They still have Zacian Boss available to them.
It's a lot to grab off 17 cards in deck.
No Iono found. That's what they were predicting. No Iono found here though for Australia. Dude, this has been a crazy game of Gardevoir Mirror, to be honest. Usually, like, everyone just sets up perfectly, the Mirage Steps kick in, and then it's just Snipe Curlia, Snipe Curlia, Snipe Curlia, Snipe Curlia, and then, like, usually whoever draws the first prize card just has a huge advantage, but...
We've only seen, like, one Shining Arcana even come into play.
Yeah. No, like, yeah, the Guardies have been very few. One Mirage Step was prized, and that was a cause of that, and then for Australia, they just had that aggressive start, and they took advantage of it, right?
So what? They can reverse the active, get they're gonna bench this other Curlia, which I guess makes sense, right?
Yeah, you need to access
Give yourself
that
the draw
power.
power option next turn. Yeah, there's really just not much lined up here for them. Maybe they're debating right now between where they want to put the energy with Psychic Embrace to get this KO. They could also go for a Lunar Blast, but it's probably best to just Moonglow reverse here.
And I assuming... Okay, we know. I guess you have to KO the active. I was gonna say, assuming KO the active makes the most sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
it's all
literally
they
nothing
can
else to
do.
do. Yeah, there's literally nothing else to do. I was like trying to come up with anything, but but the Lunar Blast does preserve energy in the discard pile, which is maybe what they're thinking about here. That
Sure.
is what they go for. They go for the Lunar Blast here, unless they're gonna. Yeah, they're going for the Lunar Blast. Here it is. On the Screamtail. There's still
They
not
could-
enough energy in the discard pile for the Zacian to get a knockout on the Guardy. Yeah, this is gonna get interesting here in these last couple turns. What are you saying?
Yeah, there is. Whose collapse stadium is this?
I believe it is the U.S. U.S. Club
Okay.
Stadium. Yeah.
So they are. Yes, this is their collapse stadium. So there's not like a lost vacuum plus collapse the way the Guardi EX play, anything like that. That would be a lot to get anyway. But
Yeah. There's the Guardi EX send up. What is even the play here for the U.S. side? You have Jirachi defend your bench now. Do you just knock out the active with Guardi EX? Do you Iono? Or do you not? Because Australia hasn't really done anything the last couple turns.
that is maybe that's probably what they're talking about here, right?
They
Is
still
it
need
even
boss.
worth? Yeah,
Nah.
it does get them closer to finding the pieces to win the game. But I mean, and there is a research in deck. But I guess that doesn't really do anything for you because you're gonna have to boss next turn anyway, right?
They're going for it. I mean, that's what they're probably looking for here. Is probably like Lunar Blast into boss KO. They found an energy, so that's going to be a couple cards for Greninja.
Yep,
Do you
yep.
ever just like not draw a prize card to have the access to this counter catcher plus Zacian possibly? You could go counter catcher plus research into the Zacian next turn.
That is true, and I think that might be what they're thinking. Well,
Nope,
they
they're
could just Lunar
attacking.
Blast the active. Are they just going to Lunar Blast? Honestly, that would be pretty good. Well, then does it become a game of chicken, and the
Yeah.
Australians can like respond in the exact same way?
Maybe, but they have a research in their hand, so then they know they're going to be able to draw a decent amount of cards next turn to dig for the boss play.
For the following turn?
Yeah, but now are they just relying on hopefully top decking boss here? It looks like that's what they're going for here is top deck boss or top deck energy.
Deck
Use
boss.
concealed cards to get the boss. But that would have been. But I think Australia would have caught on, right, for sure. Like they'd be like, "Wait, why would you just pass here?" Unless, but they are going for the knockout. They are going
I mean,
to.
it's
They
only
are
2 cards.
guaranteed.
It's only 2 cards for Australia to find all the pieces here. It's like a lot to do, right? It's a lot to ask for.
And the Zacian did just go to the bottom of the deck here for Australia. Imagine if they didn't get a Imagine if they didn't get a super odd off the prize card.
Deck list error.
Yeah. So it has to be attack with Guard EX here then at this point. Yeah, Australia's got nothing. They got this. Hold on, they got a Mysterious Tail.
Yeah, they got the Mysterious Tail. Finds a level ball. Not super helpful.
That's refinement.
Oh
Right?
yeah. They've got the Ralts they benched last turn.
Yeah.
So that can find them. Is there enough energy in the discard pile?
I don't think so. I don't think the Zacian play is
Literally, if
online
they found
here.
exactly Zacian Boss.
But I don't think it's online. They'd have to
They
find
could also
research. No, there's no research. Never mind.
Does Turo ever help them at all? I don't think so at this point.
I think they want an Iono. I think you just want Iono and then KO with Guard
Yeah,
EX. Use
Iono
KO with
to
your own Guard
one.
EX. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that sets up the best potential here for you. And then you look for your own boss next turn to boss KO. Or you could, like, I don't know, maybe put together like a Scream Tail or the Scream. Yeah, you could like Scream Tail on the next turn instead. You could Scream Tail the Jirachi.
So Curly discard, I guess
I mean, I don't think you need Mana Fee to protect your bench because the
mm.
Cresselia would already go after your bench anyways. Has US used their
yeah, but
Scream Tail actually?
Screamtail might just be in deck. So I think if Screamtail is in deck, you probably do want to keep the Mana Fee around, right?
Yeah, I don't know if it is though. I'm actually not sure if they got the Scream Tail left not or not. I thought they had went through it at this point.
They're getting rid of their own Screamtail.
Yeah. All right. Well, like, yeah, the Mana Fee they might need here.
It's crazy this Collapse Stadium came in play on turn 2 and has been here the entire game.
Yeah, literally has not moved. Oh yeah, that is true. There's no boss left for Australia here. So getting rid of Scream Tail is, I guess they have Zacian. They can always win the game with Zacian, right?
Yeah, they can just they're going to
Zacian
KO the active here, and then they can just Zacian through whatever is the active.
Yeah.
Next
they still need to
turn.
get the energy for the Zacian though. They don't have enough energy to KO Guard EX. I'm not sure where the Scream Tail is for Team US here. I'm not sure where it's at.
It's going to be a close one. Mana Fee probably just has to come down though, right? Yeah. Mana Fee
But
is
then you don't
gonna
have bench
be-
space for Zacian.
Well, you have to find you've got Vacuum, you've got well, I guess they don't have Artisan. They used Artisan turn 1, right? Yeah, they used Artisan
Yeah.
turn 1. And there's research off the prizes. Dang, they priced so many supporters. Okay, Team USA. Let's see if they've got the win.
They can super rod back Cresselia here. That's all they get, right?
Yeah.
Grab Cresselia, play the research, find Cresselia. Oh wait, you don't have enough. No, you do have enough psychic Pokemon.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Mew's on the bench, so you'll be good.
Yeah, the Mew with only 40 HP remaining. Yep.
Yeah, I looked at the bench and I was like, oh, just a Jirachi and a Greninja. They actually don't do damage, but yeah, the Mew.
Super Rod back, just Cresselia research.
I have to imagine that's the move here.
Yeah,
Checking
and they're lining it up.
Well, it's looking pretty good here for Team USA. I was about to say, if Australia did win this, they would only have 2 decks remaining, and where would they even like? That does start to narrow down the field. I was about to ask the question of what they have left. Okay, there we
And
go.
here,
Yeah, so
Fog
there it is.
Crystal does find the Cresselia. Oh, or Zacian. Either way, choose your flavor here. What is
They
this?
do
slow roll?
realize
What
they
are we
have the
doing?
win, right?
You want to listen in?
Yeah, I mean they're probably just trolling. I have to imagine they're just trolling at this point.
They might be using this time to talk about what next deck they're bringing and stuff.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
maximizing their entire.
Yeah, we can tune in
time.
and listen to what they're talking about.
Oh, we did it. We took a game. It all starts with one, man.
That is true. That is honestly.
Don't let us get one. Don't let us get one.
Let us get one, dude.
Wow.
Wow, we only lost 2 before this, right? Like we're only.
Yeah, we're only down a game.
Yeah, honestly, that's not bad. That's for the start we had. Not bad. Okay.
All right, there we go. There we go.
Zacian would have still won us the game there, right?
Yeah, that's a lot more
we had
clicks, man.
enough.
That's a lot more clicks.
Yeah, it's a lot more.
Oh, let's go, boys. Let's go.
Alrighty.
Woo.
Prizing 2 rod and the rod came at the right time.
Okay, thank God.
It definitely could have came sooner, man.
Yeah, could have.
Yeah, that was right
Yeah,
now.
that's kind of cope. That was
And
pretty
look,
terrible.
my hair is even. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's delete
Did
Guardian.
you say your hair?
Dude, look at my guy's hair.
Yeah. What?
What?
You saw that, right, Reagan? Why is it blonde?
Was it just red? It was
Just
red,
PTCG
right?
live things.
It was it was brown.
Yeah.
All right, so we delete guard. Yeah.
Okay, so now we gotta think. We kind of gotta cook. Okay, so the problem is, so their decks are what? Lax, Guardy, and Mew, right?
Yeah. We. Okay. okay, let's think about it this way. So if our angle is that we need to essentially XO Mew, we need to like lock out their Mew.
Well, I mean that's not necessarily it because
Dude, I think that's the angle we're going for though. So like, what if should we just send the decks and try to get wins with the decks that are just the worst against Mew of the ones that we have?
well,
So we have-
I'm just saying like, well, yeah, I guess.
Because I don't think they're going Mew next. I don't think that's
Okay,
what
well
they're
the thing, like, okay, so I was thinking I didn't want to send C-Pow next because C-Pow is probably better going first, right? Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
C-Pow's a lot
yeah.
better going first.
It does a lot better going first.
like, I mean, their decks are Guardy, Mew, and Snorlax are the 3 they have left.
Yeah.
C-Pow is not great against
Not
Mew
trying to
decks.
go second against Mew.
That's what I'm saying. So I think we don't send C-Pow this round.
Do you think it's
I don't.
Tina?
Do we think they're sending Mew?
Do you think, dude?
I think Tina's the safest option.
Well,
be
of course,
honest.
Tina probably gets us a win. The question is, do we just want to send the Tina win now? Maybe we just send the Tina win now. I think we do. Even it
Yeah.
back up.
'Cause Tina's also not phenomenal against Mew. Like I think we can cook Mew, but like it's not.
True, and Tina's pretty good to the other two, so it probably makes
Yeah.
sense to Tina, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
This is like this works for the yeah.
All right. Well, US locked in their deck choice for this next round. They're ready to go. We have to wait for the confirmation for Australia that they're ready, and then Australia will get to choose first or second going into this next game.
A little interesting here to get some insight on their strategy. It sounds like they wanted, what was they saying? They wanted to lock out Mew, make Mew their last deck. Is that what it was sounding like they were saying?
Well, that's what it sounded like, that if they just keep sending up decks that beat Mew over and over, maybe I think they were theorizing that Australia was going to try and hold the Mew as long as they could, because there's Spiritomb, there's Ogre, there's the control deck with Spiritomb as well. Yeah, the Spiritomb and the Tina, they have the Ogre. So I think that's what they were. I think that's what they were thinking. All right, sounds like we're going to a quick little break here for the players here. Water break, bathroom break. So wiping out a little bit of downtime. Got to give a big shout out once again to GameGrid TC Evolutions for being the sponsors of the event today. GameGrid, like I mentioned, they got the Temple Forces available for pre-order. So if you guys are looking for Temple Forces products, check them out. GameGridSLC.com. And then TC Evolutions, best highest quality premium dice damage counters, literally in the Pokemon space right now. Ability markers, V-Star markers. What are we gonna get after a V-Star marker? Are they gonna give us something? I feel like they should. They've been such good mechanics since we had the GX attacks, right? What's the next marker we're gonna get? But yeah, go check out.
Pick a letter of the alphabet, bro. Like your guess is as good as mine.
I guess what I'm saying, I just want them to do it. I think they will. Like I feel like they I think everyone has.
Well, we're
loved...
taking a break this generation, right? So eventually we'll get to Scarlet and Violet on, and there won't be.
No, they could give us something before we get to Scarlet and Violet.
They could, because
right?
they introduced the. Well, no, I don't think so. They've never introduced something like that mid. Oh, I guess they introduced V-Stars mid-generation, didn't they? Yeah, they did. So they could do something like that.
Yeah, I think so, and I think they should. I think they should keep a marker Pokemon around. Did we get V-Stars right as we lost? No, we had a break where we didn't have anything, right? Yeah, we had no.
We did,
marker,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think they should keep some kind of marker thing around. I mean,
Cool,
GX attacks are basically V-Star.
Just adds another level to the game.
Right, because like GX was just attacks, and then the V-Star
Yes.
stuff they turned into
Attacks and abilities.
Attacks and abilities, which is pretty cool. So yeah, I think they should give us something, because I don't know. Yeah, I've loved the little marker mechanic since they started with it. And I think everyone loves it, even if people didn't like. Well, yeah, GXs came before tag teams. I was gonna say, even if people didn't like tag teams, everyone loved GX attacks. But we had GX attacks way before we had tag teams. So
All right, looks like both teams are ready.
all right, yeah, I don't think we've had a confirmation. There we go. James does say first, which I'm sure US doesn't hate, because Tina doesn't mind going second. But I feel like that means we maybe got the Guardy run back here.
You want spoilers or no?
Oh, do you know?
Yeah. What are you looking at that you're not seeing what they're?
Well, I'm actually just looking at OBS's capture. So
Okay,
I'm just seeing.
okay.
So I don't get to see.
I see both the screens at the same time.
Because I just want to make sure everything, like when I'm switching between, and it reminded me
yeah.
to switch between the things. So, is it Mew? Do it.
Why don't you take a look?
Let's see. I'm gonna flip over to Australia. Let's see what they chose to bring here. It is. They did it.
Yep.
They brought the Mew, and honestly, is this the matchup?
This is probably the time to have brought the Mew. I mean, it's going to work out for them, right? One of Mew's better matchups on paper definitely has always been Giratina.
Yeah, definitely. The opening hand here is a little tough, but a Cram Heads would save it. They could thin out the hand a little bit here. They could like play the path and then vacuum like away the Pal Pad to bump that. I think they'll probably start with the Cram on the Pal Pad to see if they even have to do the vacuum play to like thin it out further. And like Nest Ball for like one Genesect, draw one, and hope.
Losing these tablets though feels a little bad. It's not like the end of the world, but
they're definitely have to burn.
Bad.
They're gonna have to burn one tablet here now for sure.
Yeah.
You don't really want to burn two though if you can avoid it. But they might go all out. If they have the other two tablets in the deck, you really want to keep the three tablets around, to be honest. That's tough.
They should check their choice belt as well here.
It'd be important if you burn a bunch of tablets,
Everything, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No choice belts.
Was it not there?
No. He's going fast. James, I think, is the one scrolling here.
Yeah, James is in control. Yeah, no choice belts. And
think,
a tablet prized?
Let's see.
Oh
my
gosh. That is as bad as it gets. You definitely need I feel like you need to keep this tablet then. Like you need to keep one.
So we're just not drawing a card here.
No, you can draw one. You can draw one, right? Unless I'm missing something. But I feel like this should actually be a Genesect. Just go for the draw one. And then if it's playable, are they just gonna pass?
Gonna pass.
Interesting. So
they also
really
don't know. The Australians don't know if this is the Ogre deck or if this is the Giratina.
Okay, but they are getting more aggressive here. Yeah, that's true. Actually, they don't know what this is. It could be Ogre. It could be Giratina. That's true. That's very true.
Playing the tablets.
Oh, so they're hoping it's Ogre. Oh my god.
This is what Giratina is supposed to do, man. Not the Mew, the most consistent deck in the format.
Well, to be honest, yeah, I mean, this is gonna be tough. I mean, this matchup is probably a little bit tough with the Spiritomb as well, anyways, though, right? So that's gonna be tough.
That is fair. Yeah.
I actually wonder if it seems like Team US is treating Tina as like their most powerful deck, right? The win all. It's like it's a win, right? That's how they basically.
I think that's what Bradner said, right? He said, "Should we just go ahead and get a win with Tina?"
Yeah. And I feel like then Australia is comfortable getting the Tina out of the way with a poor draw, and maybe even getting to save the Mew to pair up into the Chien-Pao still. They still have that potential pair up for the Mew, right? So if the Tina was going to come through and win no matter what, then it almost seems like Tina getting rid of Gardevoir would have been probably a worse. If it really is that much of an auto win for whatever Tina runs into, I think losing or Tina taking away your Gardevoir would have been a little bit worse, right?
Yeah, and Australia does still have control hanging around as well. So that's another thing they got to think about. Tina has the best control matchup of any of the decks.
Yeah, they won't have the Tina as an answer for the control either.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's that Spiritomb off the rip with the Battle VIP pass. I mean, a Judge or an Iono top deck here could still save Australia, but it's looking tough. It's looking tough for sure.
We should listen into Australia as they draw their card this coming turn.
Yeah, sure, we can tune. I also want to stick around with Australia through the end of the game as well, because I want to hear their process on that deck choice.
Sure.
Like, what are they coming to the conclusion? We should try and hit that like once more on each team. I was one of the reasons I was hoping Australia didn't win the last game is so we could definitely get one or two tune-ins to their deck choice process. So we should stick with them through the end of the next one. It seems like US here is going to go very heavily down the Tina route, though. Not even going to consider the Cram, it looks like. For the VIP pass,
no Cram. Cram's not like amazing in this matchup. I mean, a punch of a Genesect can turn into a cleanup with Sableye at the end of the game, potentially.
Yeah. This is like the best time for Cram here is Punch Genesect. Cram Punch Genesect is like the... Punching a Mew is okay as well if that one's going to become a Mew VMAX, or Punching Mew VMAX is all right as well.
Because then you can Tina it, yeah.
Getting to your Tinas is like the most important part. Heavy on the Comfies here, actually. 2 Comfies getting lined up off this Battle VIP pass.
Yeah, looking for an easy time to next turn Mirage Gate, I think, right? I mean, I think this is them recognizing the poor start from Team Australia, and they just want to capitalize as much as possible, most likely.
Yeah, I guess this is like...
I don't hate the getting aggressive. I mean, they're going to get to 5 cards in the lost zone here. They just need a Colress next turn, and that gets them the attack.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. That'll get them the Lost Impact. Lost Impact into a Mew VMAX doesn't feel great when the Mew player is fully set up, but that is not the case here. I was wondering if they were going to preserve that Jet or not with the switch card, but decides to preserve the switch card over that.
Honestly, as well, the Jet actually is a pretty nice find, too, because you can gear for the Colress and then just you've got it. Well, I guess you need the V-Star still.
Yeah, we're short of
So
V-Star.
they need a little bit. They need a little bit.
Yeah, not 100% there yet. We're close though. Very, very close.
Top deck of the Forest Sealstone. Let's get back to Australia.
Oh, my bad. I forgot to switch. There we go. Top deck 4 Sealstone. That is the Iono, right? This is what we go for. We need to see a lot of cards.
Let's hear what they say.
Yeah, let's tune in.
Try and get Guardi on the win against Chien-Pao or.
Well, it's a full read regardless. It's a 100% read regardless. It's not like saying, well, we also want Lax into Lax. Like it's 100% a read. But
no. If we queue Lax, the only deck we want Lax against is Lax, right?
Okay, but it's not like.
But we think they're gonna get Lax, and even if it's not that, we have very good odds of winning.
It's gonna be a read. It's gonna be a read later, anyways. Like it doesn't. It's kind of whatever. But okay, what are we doing here?
I'm not gonna lie to you, but it sounds like they've already given up on this game.
It sounded like it a little bit.
Yeah, we'll definitely tune in at the end of this one as this one actually closes
they
out.
could have, if they had found a way to attack with this Mew VMAX, it wouldn't have been terrible. And they're close. All they needed, they do get a tail, so that makes it a little tougher. If they had found like either a DTE or a Mew VMAX, they already had the switch card. Like they could have at least done something, but
and they still got the Judge hits. Honestly, I think they maybe misplayed with that 4 Sealstone attachment. I wonder if that should have gone to the Mew, so they could have put a Box of Disaster on the Genesect. Because the only option right now is Lost Impact.
Right, that Cramorant is in the Lost Zone and their bench is full.
Yeah, so like even if you didn't get the attack off this turn, if you had that threat of that 80 damage coming in to a Tina, if they wanted to really get aggressive, that would have been pretty good to be honest. So I wonder,
it keeps them from being able to get aggressive, honestly.
Yeah. And the Choice Belt's prized, right? The Choice Belt was prized, so we wouldn't need till a follow-up Mew towards the end of the game.
Yeah, I wouldn't have hated to see it. Because now Team USA, if they want to just go aggressive and Lost Impact here, they can. And they've, I think, got everything to do that, right? This is going to be 7 in the Lost Zone.
Ooh, and the Colress. Oh, but they're debating now. Do they want the gate instead?
Yeah, because they've already got it. They might not even need the Colress. They might think the Mirage Gate's a little better later on. But no, we'll just go with it. I like, of course, always, for the most part, playing the Mirage Gate before the Colress, right? Get those energies out. You don't want to see too many of them. Obviously, sometimes you need an energy in your hand still, so you would do it the other way around. But in this instance, they've already got that grass energy. So now Colress going to keep the Tina V-Star. There's a Path. How valuable is Path when you're taking your opponent's only Genesect out of play and you have Spiritomb already?
I kind of like the energy a little bit more, but I don't know.
And
it's
they also
like
already have a Path in their hand.
Yeah, I kind of like the energy a little bit more, especially if you're going to like potentially get judged next turn. Having just more energy in the deck for the gates is the biggest thing.
Being able to evolve both Giratinas here is pretty good too, I think, right?
Well, usually against Mew, yes, but in this situation,
it doesn't maybe matter as much in this instance.
The Box of Disaster would have been pretty good on this Genesect, though. The follow-up Judge potential knockout, that could have been something there, to be honest. If the
and it might have even made Team USA do something weird, like just like fade out the Genesect to break the Box of Disaster. Like they might not have even wanted to
spinning attack.
I guess you want to keep your Spiritomb in play, but
Shred.
Shred
spinning
instead,
attack.
yeah.
Wouldn't have hated a spinning attack, but their hand doesn't have that much follow, so like putting that much energy on a Comfy would have been pretty bad. But yeah, attacking into a Box of Disaster here would have not been great. So it definitely would have been tough. Are they debating not evolving to the... Oh, they're out of their switches. If they evolve to the bench Tina, it gets bossed. It could get stuck for a while.
That is true. Okay, and that might be what they're thinking about.
Yeah, probably want to avoid that. See what they end up going with, though. They are playing around it.
Yep. Is going to be the Lost Impacts. It's 2 prizes. Probably going to get rid of the Grass in the Water here. Yeah, 2 Psychics already in the Lost Zone.
2 Psychics, really?
That's what it looked like.
I think it was at least 1 for sure. I didn't know if I saw the
I think it was 2. They got rid of 1 this turn.
Got the Manaphy and the Pokegear. So the Pokegear's good off the prize cards for sure. Let's see if they have the Judge.
All right. Team Australia does find a Genesect. They've got that Judge. They need to at least hit this Giratina here, right?
Yeah, I think there's actually an argument. There's an argument to not play the Box of Disaster because if you Judge into a 4 Sealstone plus a Fusion, you maybe want to just chill. All right, nothing really here, but I mean I can't see the U.S. side hand. I'm watching with the with what everyone else sees, so it's possible there's not going to be a knockout here. We'll see when we get back over to Team USA, and we're going over there now. Let's see.
There is going to be a knockout.
There is going to be a Star Requiem. Okay, and it does get around the Box of Disasters, I believe, right? That's how Box.
Yeah,
of
do they have
Disasters
10 in the Lost Zone?
Yeah, they got up to 11 on this.
They do, right?
Yeah.
They got to 8 last turn. Okay.
I think they got to 11.
Yeah, got
11 now. Yeah.
Yeah, after the Lost Impact puts 2.
I think it's gonna be the Star Rec.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe it was smart.
Straightforward.
Yeah, Australia's been using all of this time to pick their next deck. I wonder. Actually, let's tune into US here. Let's see if
concede real quick.
they really.
Yeah.
I wonder if Team US has been doing this. They've probably been talking things through pretty thoroughly. So
Yeah,
maybe
let's
that'll
go
be
listen in.
what, US?
No, Australia. I was thinking, right?
Okay, are they at the end
You
of
hear
the
their
game
full
here?
process? Yeah, they're conceding right now.
All right, yeah, let's tune in.
Insta ready. Wait, Lax. Okay, wait. We haven't decided if we're going first or second yet. We can go second.
I think we go
Yeah,
second.
no, we go second. We go second.
Yeah, go second.
The only time it really matters, I think they're going to lead Tomb regardless, because the odds that Tomb like actually matters, and the odds they open is low.
Tomb is very good against both of our decks. So
Yeah. We're really hoping it's not Lost Ogre, ideally.
Yeah, well, I think we can win this
I think
matchup a lot of the time.
we can. I do still want a Kyogre, but like I'm just gonna defer to you guys.
I think it's Lax. I really do. I'm making the hard read.
Yeah, I think we read that Lax here.
I'll trust you. All right, do we just ready? And
Yeah, type ready.
Then when my
All right, well, Australia's locked it in. They're locking in control and hoping for the response from US to be control as well. So they're hoping for that the control mirror, where they do have the advantage because they play the Crabominable with the water.
US
Team
is still
does not.
debating. It seems like you want to listen in.
Yeah, let's go over there and see what they're thinking.
Here, like that's the only bad thing for us is if they because like if we lose the Guardian, that's like low-key fine. But like if they roll Lax, that's the
What's our
problem.
Guardy Lax matchup?
Our Guardian Lax matchup is bad. They have Turo.
It's bad.
That's the only reason. But okay, honestly, we throw Snorlax, like they win with Guardy, right? That's fine. Then we're going first. We assume that we win with Chien-Pao going first against Mew, or we win that, right? So
Yep.
then we have Kyogre and Lax left, right?
Yeah.
And then worst case scenario is like, I mean, we just like that's pretty reasonable, right? So I think
I
we
was
just
gonna say,
send it.
I think all three of these decks are like
Sure.
fairly good against Mew. So
I think we just like if we get lucky, they hit Mew again. But if not, which probably not.
I mean, the
It's
other
okay.
decks just like if that's what we're going with, the other decks just don't matter. We just need to like wash them out. Like they let them.
Well, no, because
Well, no, not
like,
necessarily. But
hitting this or this into Chien-Pao or into Snorlax is awesome. It's so good for us.
Switch to
That's
their
why it
screen as
matters.
well.
See what I'm saying? That's a
I
free
have these
deck.
decks. I have these decks both beating Mew anyway, though. I mean, obviously, we would rather get it into Snorlax just to
They're
make life
close.
easier.
They're
But
close, I think. Okay, so you guys think we just send Lax? You're down with that?
Yep.
uh,
I'm down.
you're passionate about it, yeah.
All right.
They did it. They predict that Australia predicted correctly.
Yeah, dang,
Yeah,
that's
they
crazy.
got there. That's insane.
Team
Is it-
US is not going to be pumped whenever they see Natalie type second in the in the comms.
Yeah. Well, I think they were discussing. I think they discussed it to end up going first. Actually, I think. And Natalie.
Oh, for the control, like they're hard predicting control mirror here.
Yeah, I think so. And Natalie wanted to go. I believe Natalie was saying she wanted to play Guardy here. But James and
But it
Brent
is going to be
were
Lax.
pretty confident in Lax, and she said, "Yeah, okay, we'll just go with that then. That's fine." But yeah, I think she was pretty confident about wanting to go, or she wanted to go with the Guardy. But Brent and James seem to be pretty confident with the Lax, and they are going with the Lax here. It looks like so locked in, and they got the matchup they were trying to predict into, which is the control mirror, which they are heavily. Is it like how heavily this matchup is so slow? Is it losable? I don't even know if it's losable. What could be you could prize heavy ball, abominable, I don't even know. What could you even prize there? Heavy ball, Caramomal, and Peonia or something? Yeah, we're waiting on them to pick. Okay, there we go. All right, locked in. We're waiting on that one of them to pick first or second. They both readied up. Yeah, you're good.
I was listening into US's comms a little bit as well. They were waiting for.
Oh, you were undeafened.
Yeah. They were waiting for. They were like, wait, because Australia was queued up. Australia was queuing up, but they hadn't chosen first or second in the chat yet, and so they just didn't realize. So I just typed in and said, "Y'all got to choose first or second." And as soon as James typed second, all three of the Americans went, "No!"
So they know it's the control matchup.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're not pumped about that.
How is the control going to be for Team US, what are they going to be able to beat with their control? What is the?
Yeah, that is the question here. You gotta, as you
Mew
whittle
is
things
beatable.
down-
It's tough with the fusion energy. Mew's just tough in general. Got the combination of Path and Judge.
So Team Australia has Control, Tina, and no, they have Control, Gardevoir, and Mew left, right? Control, Gardevoir, Mew. Team Australia.
How is all US going to get this control a win?
It might be hard.
Yeah, it might be tough. Honestly, the what's doing it here is that Turo and Guardy is like the that's the tough thing
Honestly,
to deal with.
all 5 of the decks that Australia brought has a good matchup into the US's control deck, I think.
Sheesh. Yeah, they're predicting the control.
Yeah.
All right. Well, US is going first in this one. Like we said, it's gonna be tough. I'm trying to think of an out here besides
How
like
they
terrible
press their
press cards.
Rotom, or is it in their hand?
I'm not sure. I don't even know if how much that matters in this matchup, to be honest. I think actually for Team US, getting access to Spiritomb is probably the most important thing, right?
And
So
it's
you
pressed
can-
too.
Yeah, so you can slow them down. But even then, I don't know what you're setting up to like.
Wait, do they need to play to the timer win con?
No, I think Crabominable will win.
Crabominable, yeah.
Crabominable will
that
just win
axes
way before
any
that.
potential of that happening, yeah.
Fail
So
on
what
the
are we
Battle
hoping
VIP
for
pass.
here? The Team US is hoping for Australia to have prized Heavy Ball, Peonia,
Peonia's in
and
hand.
Crab, or Water Energy, right?
Ooh,
Peonia plus Water Energy, I guess, would be a little easier. Peonia is in the hand, so
Yeah. There's a Silene's in there already.
ensures-
Crabominable's in there. Dude, we see it all. The Heavy Ball's there as well. The Pokegear
Yeah.
told all. Oh, it's
we
gonna
gotta
be
see
tough.
the Water Energy still. Is there Water Energy?
Let's see, they had the Peonia though, so I don't know if it's gonna matter. The Team
Yeah,
US
it
Shears
wouldn't
in the
have mattered
deck.
anyway. It just maybe delays it a little bit. Yeah. So
Yeah.
as control, I mean, obviously the team that has Crabominable is heavily favored here, and probably almost like 99-1, maybe 100-0. Honestly, like, is there anything that
Can they get turn 1
can
Crabominable?
can Team US even do anything about just aggro Crabominable? That's what I'm wondering here.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah, I don't think so.
Like they can just crab from here on out. There's no way to remove the energy.
Yeah, they're not gonna turn 1 Crab. They don't have quite that good of a start, but
If they had a switch cart or the energy in hand.
yeah, the turn 2 Crab is coming, and we're already going back over to Australia. Yeah, Peonia and Iono, that could get them there, and they are going with the Iono. I think they are just trying to go aggro Crab, right? That's what you just do. I
Yeah.
guess they don't have an answer
Yeah,
for it.
and Team US has nothing for the crab as well. I saw some people in chat talking about it. Like there's no league headquarters or anything like that.
I don't even think that ever
Um,
does enough either, right? Like even if you had league
Well, this
headquarters.
list from Australia does only play like 2 stadiums, but they
That's
can
true.
always get them back, right? So
Yeah. Oh,
it
that's
probably just doesn't
true.
ever do enough.
You'd have to like Silene back the stadium. It could,
But they're just going
mess with
in.
the loop at the end. Yeah. Yeah. Here comes the mill. Yeah, we could listen into Team US here. See if they have a plan or if they're just kind of checked. We'll see.
Dude, this is crazy.
Dude, just Penny.
We are just getting.
Just Penny. What?
Yeah, why aren't
what
we
is going on?
scooping?
Dude, what
We
if
know
they
we're
don't
sending
push
Chen-
card
we're go-
button,
we're
man?
se- Dude,
Yeah.
we know we're sending Chien-Pao next. We have to.
All right, fine.
The honorable penny. I'd like
That
to
read was
see it.
crazy. Like, actually insane that they had us on putting Lax in, dude.
They said the read was crazy. Australia was confident in their read, and they're aggressively sending the Chien-Pao. Let's jump over to Australia real fast, see if they are deciding what to send up next.
They might go Chen though.
Dude, we might get red on this again.
No,
Just
but
read it, man.
Chen going first is still a bit sus though for them.
I think the
They're just
Guardi Chen
like-
matchup is fine. Like it's
Yeah, I
literally
think we
Chen
just
from
go
last
Chen.
format. Remember that matchup was fine when we were playing it last format.
Yeah, I think Chen. I think Guardi's fine.
Yeah. Guardi's fine. Well, okay. They're choosing. Are they ever going Lost Ogre? No, right? They're just never going Lost Ogre.
Also, our Guardi's favored into Lost Ogre, so like not that.
No,
bad.
no. I mean, they're never going, so we probably shouldn't go Guardian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mew
I
is better into
agree.
the other decks. Wait, but they could go Lost Ogre
Yeah, but we're still favored.
with Mew. Yeah.
I still think
They're
we just go
going-
Guardian.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're going second both of these times.
Yeah. I agree.
Like only
I mean,
if
look,
they
we're
play
probably gonna
Chen.
struggle to get the win with Mew, but yeah. Let's just go with Guardi.
Yep. Oh my god. Are they already ready? No.
All right. Well, I think we got the matchup locked in then for this next match. Go ahead and remind the players. So we got sounds like Chien-Pao versus what they opt for there? They opt for Guardy.
They opted for Guardy. It sounded like.
Yeah, that's good for Chien-Pao. That's like a favorable matchup
Yeah.
for Chien-Pao.
Especially
with
when
the
Chien-Pao's going first.
Yeah, going first. Doesn't have the Iron Hands, which I think does make the matchup better.
I mean,
But-
yeah, but they've got double canceling cologne plus all 4 cross switchers, right?
Yeah, but you'd still prefer the Iron Hands, I think, overall.
Yeah,
And for
it's
Guardy-
obviously stronger.
Guardy does have the counter catchers, but they don't have the Averys, which is the bigger part, I feel like, in that matchup from like newer additions to the deck recently that like had the bigger influence on that matchup. But yeah, I think US is gonna struggle to get a win with control. I think it's gonna be like a big struggle. Moving forward. I think they're gonna struggle to get the win with control. I think Mew is probably the best matchup, right? Well, maybe the Guardy, even with the Turo, maybe Guardy is still better. Even though they have the Turo, maybe Guardy is still the better matchup because you can open up with
they
a
can
couple
prize
different
the
things.
Turo. I mean, is it that's what it's going to come down to? Is like Team US is going to have to hope for Australia to prize an out or something like that.
Yeah, I think you'd actually want that match. I think you'd actually want the Guardy matchup, despite the Turo being there.
You can still win even with the Turo. You
Yeah,
gotta
that's
get a
what I'm
little
saying, yeah.
lucky. You gotta they gotta start one of the water guys. You gotta bring one down.
Yeah, exactly. Start one of them, then they Turo it, then you got to get another one.
They have to go Turo collapsed all on the same turn.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Which I guess they can't even. No, they can do because they have to Turo the active water Pokemon, bench another psychic Pokemon, and then. Yeah, I mean their best chance to win with Snorlax is definitely going to be against the Gardevoir, I think. So.
Yeah.
A lot is going to come down to this matchup, I think. If Team Australia wins with the Gardevoir here, Team US is definitely going to have a hard time with their control matchup. But if Team US can get the win with the Chien-Pao, they're going to at least have Gardevoir still in the pool for them to potentially run their control into it.
Yeah, so actually, that actually even puts more emphasis on this match. Team US feels like they have to win this match, or the control feels like it's almost going to be impossible. To get the dub. I mean, Control can still beat Mew, but I think Mew's better than the Guardy. I think Mew's better than Guardy Turo against Control. So this is like
so they play 2.
the Mew deck. No, it's just that they can judge you. That's it. Like they just kill your hand.
Well, yeah, I mean that helps obviously, but like you're potentially going to get to a point is like Wax can't stabilize out of a judge.
Well, no, they're gonna KO your Rotom and then they're gonna judge you. It's really hard to stabilize. It is possible. Team US going first. They got a really good hand for going second. This is a classic Chien-Pao hand. It's coming down to the stop. Here we go.
Classic Chien-Pao moment. That's not bad.
Okay, not bad.
That's not bad. All right, we can go get Chien-Pao, right?
I think we probably go for the
You could
Greninja.
get Greninja?
Yeah. We could possibly still Ultra Ball as well. The B-Barrel Mill is unfortunate, but the deck can recover it. We got some... Oh, are they eyeing up? Oh, I guess you could go Chien-Pao and then Ultra Ball for the Greninja, right? You could search 2 energy out.
It's a lot to get rid of. What do you get rid of in this hand?
I
1
don't-
energy from the Chien-Pao and then what?
I kind of like to just get the Greninja grab, to be honest. I kind of do like that. And maybe we even save the Ultra Ball to go get a Bidoof instead.
Well, so if you get the Greninja here, you're not guaranteed to get into a Chien-Pao into the active spot, right? But if you get
You don't
Chien-Pao,
need it, though. You don't need the Chien-Pao in the active.
No, but it lets you get a lot of cards out of your deck because you're
Yeah.
guaranteed to get 2 out right now and 2 out next turn, right? So you're
Yep.
gonna thin your deck much more if you get the Chien-Pao.
Yeah, that is true. And it looks like they are going for the Chien-Pao here. Yeah, they're locked in. And they will go
They've
into
already got 2. Oh yeah, this is easy. They've already got 2. I didn't
They
realize
might
they had 2
even
waters in their
not.
hand as
They
well.
might even not. They might just not go for the Greninja this turn and just get an extra off the Irida with Rare Candy, and then they have the
Do they have their second B-Braille? Oh, they prized their second B-Braille.
that is tough.
That is
Wait,
tough.
okay, they Bidoof
Do
in
they
there?
have?
Did they?
There's no Manaphy in this list, right?
No Manaphy. Which is
So
does
that's
make
a
things
little awkward
harder.
too, because Screamtail can kind of just like run rampant.
Oh no! For some reason, I thought they needed 1 more energy to actually make this play work. No, this worked. You should always
No,
go with the
no.
Greninja here. Yeah, I thought you needed. I thought we were gonna have to discard Super Auto
I thought they only
Cross-Switcher.
had 1 energy in their hand before they nestballed, but they had 2.
Yeah. Okay. This is no Bidoof down is not great, but not terrible here. Also, the Mew start going to be pretty good for Australia as well. You want to see that aggressive start.
All right, and this hand for Australia, we're living on a Mew, baby.
No, we're living on a Pokestop. Let's hit it. I love it.
Yeah, sure.
Let's dig deeper.
First up.
Oh, okay. That frees up the Mysterious Tail to find the VIP pass.
Oh, wait, would
Obviously.
we ever see, are we going to see the honorable Professor Turo?
Oh
my God! What? The Turo.
No,
Turo,
you
are they
make the
gonna do
call.
it?
You make the call. They don't have Candy Backs turn 2. We've seen it
Oh my
before.
Gosh. It's over, bro. They've got
Well,
candy
we know
backs.
they know. There had to be the question there asked there for a second. Do we do the Turo?
Oh
And
my gosh.
that is game. Let's tune into US here and hear their end of this
Their
game going
victory
into
lap,
the
yeah.
going to the next one.
Go.
Fucking go!
Well, I'm saying, hey. That's C-Pao right there, you know? That's normal C-Pao match, you know? That's how it rolls.
C-Pao, baby!
Oh my god, we got
Let's
Reagan's
go,
terrible
dude.
deck out of the way. Let's go, baby.
Dude, that is crazy, man.
Dude, Reagan's
My
terrible
deck
for
picks are
1-0.
1-0. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god.
Let's go.
Hey man, we were yapping about them starting that Piggy Mew.
Dude, how did they not have another
didn't
basic?
do anything.
How did they not have another basic?
After we mulligan, dude, that's crazy.
Dude, Mulligan,
Dude,
then top line.
honestly, these games have been terrible for Azul stream, dude.
I know,
These
dude.
haven't been very
Yeah.
Two of
entertaining.
them were draw
Yo,
passes,
chat. I'm
and
sorry.
two of them were games. Wait. Yeah. The Gardevoir was a good game, and then the Kyogre was a good game, but everything else has been terrible. All right,
Okay,
this is what it
what
comes down to.
Let's
Okay,
go.
so I think we just do the one that has the best shot against their. Can we never beat their Guardy with Lax? Is it just like never?
Okay, so both of them have a
Because Kyogre has a better shot against Guardy than Lax does.
I mean, they can draw poorly. I mean, it is pretty bad, but I guess they can draw poorly. Like we really just have no way to kill a Gardevoir, right?
Yeah.
And Lax is also pretty bad against Guardy. So I mean, I think that they'll probably send Mew here, because
So,
this is
I
the
think-
only time that they get to choose Mew going first or second.
All right, let's tune into Australia. Let's see how they're feeling going to this next deck selection.
Yeah, so we just chipping Gotti again.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yep, we going first.
Wait, no. Okay, type ready. Yeah.
All right, we are super ready.
Yeah, we're not switching.
Staying on the Guardy, it sounds
Shut
like.
I
my
think they
Gotti.
should also know that we're queuing first. Like,
Well,
both our
obviously,
decks are going
we're
first.
obviously going first, but it's like with what? They don't know with what.
All right, so it sounds like Australia is going with the Guardy again. They're running it back, which I think makes the most sense, because they want, well, yeah, because they'll be able to get the Mew against the Control or the Kyogre, as long as they can get the win with the Guardy, right? But if they go with Mew now, and Mew beats, I guess maybe it doesn't matter one way or another, right? Towards the end here, kind of.
Yeah, if we're worried about Team US being able to get a win with their control deck, like Team Australia, again, the question just becomes, which of your two decks do you think is best into the last non-control deck for Team US? And the last non-control deck for Team US is the Ogre, right? So which deck do you
Yeah.
think has a better Ogre matchup? And it's probably...
I mean, honestly, I think they need to beat Mew with both decks. Well, it sounds like they think the Guardy matchup for Control is better than the Mew matchup, or they
Yeah.
think the Mew matchup is better for Control than the other way around, right?
Yeah, that's what it sounded like, yep.
So it sounds like US is trying to hit Control into Mew, and then they obviously are going to have the favorite against the Ogre here, the Ogre as well. Yeah, here we are 3-3, and we'll see. So it is the Ogre on the US side up against the Guardy. This is a rough opening hand.
Man, Sableye is one of the most annoying starters with this deck. I mean, Kyogre's a little bit worse, obviously, but just with Lost Box in general, starting Sableye has always felt so.
They got a ton of good top decks. We'll give them that.
Any Nest Ball, any VIP Pass.
Okay, here we go.
Australia here, on the other hand, I mean, not much to
fine.
do with this hand.
But it's enough to set up for Mirage Step, right? That's what we're looking
Yes. Yep.
for. Yeah, that's gonna be
They've
their
got the
turn
bare
two.
minimum.
Yeah, bare minimum, and then we got to see what the top deck is here. I feel like, well, if the Iono has to get played though, you know, that all of a sudden free. But it's like, yeah, you want to have these aggressive starts as the Lost Zone player, right? It's gonna be tough here. All right.
Yeah. Australia was debating there where to put the energy. I don't think it really
Top
matters,
deck.
right?
Hey, it's a Comfy.
Okay.
They have 4 Seal
Still
Stone in hand
alive.
as well, so any kind of basic Pokemon search becomes a Colress, and then that can
Yep.
pretty easily get you to that Cram. See what we're looking at here. It's live. It's live. Saved.
There we go.
We could even
Sigh of
see.
relief.
We could see a turn 1 Greninja attack. KO double rolls.
I mean, come on, buddy.
it's possible.
From this start, yeah, it ain't happening.
Yikes. All right. It's still fine, though.
Losing Manaphy right away, is that ever that big of a deal?
No, I don't think. Yeah, the Scream Tail's like not that big of a. It doesn't ever put on that much pressure, I don't think.
Yeah,
Enough pressure to
sure.
warrant being scared. Yeah, we might not see a turn 1 attack here.
3 in the Lost Zone.
They're close. They are close. They are literally just a Pokemon search card away, which they have found 0 of so far. So they're all in the deck.
Well, now with this, dude. Well, they would need to like switch into Comfey into Pokestop into Nest Ball switch cards. Like,
Oh, you're talking about for the turn 1 Greninja attack?
yeah.
Yeah, that's. I don't think that's happening anymore. I think.
Okay.
I think we're just looking for.
they
We're
just
looking
need,
for Cram.
Yeah, they just need the Cramorant. Yeah.
The Cram. There it is. The Cram is here. Barely holding on by a thread, and they get the Greninja.
Hey, they could technically win. Yeah, because they're gonna Greninja. Yeah. If they can find, do you ever just grab? No, you don't go for it. Because if they find Pokestop and stop into the Lost Vacuum,
so much.
Hey, listen, man, I
No,
love.
they
finding,
also
like,
need
those-
another Comfey use. They would need another. They would need another Comfey. Get it in the active. Get out of the
Yeah.
active. Plus, it is
But they're locking
possible.
themselves out of the potential by putting both these Pokemon in play.
That's
just kidding.
yeah, but that's probably correct.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah. Think of the potential. One thing that we didn't see actually, one thing that we could actually start to see this snowball pretty favorably in the US's favor. There's no Manaphy found turn 1. VIP pass is now not an option. They don't have that many outs to Manaphy going to this next turn while also having to find the Mirage Step Kirlia.
Also,
in the
this is
deck.
something we saw from Bradner in his last show match against Jake Gearhart, literally using all of the time possible. That's like someone being really heads up, knowing all of the game mechanics.
Yeah. Do you go get the... I like putting down Dragonite aggressively in the Gardevoir matchup, personally. Like, I wouldn't hate to see VIP pass for Dragonite, attach Force Seal Stone, retreat, Palpata, Colress, knockout.
Yeah, it does play around the potential Iono, right?
Yeah, just make sure you're... Because you're the aggressor.
It could get vacuumed. There is a chance of that.
They do play the vacuum. I kind of forgot about that.
They're actually going to get Pidgeot here, it looks like.
So it looks like they are going for that line, but they don't want to have the two prizer get stuck in play. Which is reasonable. But then finding the dragon, like there are situations that come up where you're just gonna want the Dragonite later, and it's gonna be harder to find it. Also, Pidgeot's a decent attacker though.
They'd have to get the Team Australia would have to get a little lucky to find their one of vacuum here, but
yeah, I think committing the Force Seal Stone is fine. Being like you don't have
fine.
it.
Yeah,
I think saying
it's
you don't
annoying
have
if it
is
happens, but it is what it is.
Yeah. See if they also Palpad for the Colress or not. You do kind of want to Palpad 2 Colress back in or Roxanne plus Colress, but also just
I think it's fine to hold it, especially if you're gonna put the Force Seal Stone in play.
If you put the Force Seal Stone in play, I think it's fine to hold it. If you don't put the Force Seal Stone in play, I think I'd like to see the Palpad get played. I might just like to see the Palpad get played anyways, though, because like if you do get Iono'd here, you have to find the Palpad. It's got to find a Colress. Then you have to find that Colress. Would you rather just have +1 Colress in your deck? Like if I asked you the question, Chip, if you could play 5 Colress, would you?
Probably, but that's not allowed.
I'm not sure that math 100% lines up. That might not be the answer to that. 100% the true answer to that question. But hey, they're playing the Palpad.
They're gonna play it. Okay.
Here comes that spit. That was almost super scary though. They like brought it all together just barely.
Amazing to see that opening hand and then see that this is how their turn ended with this board.
It's sometimes just a Comfey away. You're sometimes just a Comfey away.
All right. Top deck of the Iono leads to just a
maybe the Guardy is just
Mirage Step. Hope for Manaphy here. Manaphy is a huge thing to try to find. And
that is a hand. And the Cresselia for next turn potentially. Start to go after that Sableye.
Let's listen in.
All right.
Team Australia.
Ultra double energy.
Oh wait. Yeah.
Level ball.
Double. Manaphy's prize.
Okay. I got rolls.
Oh no.
How many Gardevoir EX? 1 EX.
Yeah, 1 EX, 1 EX prize.
You could hear the defeat.
Do we have
in
any
James'
other
voice.
basics prized? Zessions in deck? Nope. No Iono.
No supporters.
Rod.
No
Um,
levels.
No
Is that 3
level?
VIPs? How many VIPs?
No.
Oh, no, I didn't realize you
Yeah.
can't see a number.
No Zero Rare Candy. And energies. Wait, we're down 1, 2. It's 3 energies.
Yeah.
I think it's it.
Is that it?
Max in deck, I think.
All right. So the Manaphy's prize, that's huge, is exactly what you want as the Lost Zone player. The potential for that turn 2 Greninja to remove the Curlius from play after the Mirage Step happens. It sounds like they have a little bit of a prize checking system going down over there James is shouting out what's prize, and I hear someone typing in the background.
Yeah, I
as
think
the
Brent.
as the prize are getting shouted out. So I got a little system going down over there. Honestly, we've seen actually I think the on the US side they've kind of just like switched decks pretty aggressively like each time. The Australia side specifically, this is their third time running up the Gardevoir deck, and they have not gotten a dub with Gardevoir yet. This is still
It's
a
pretty
decent
crazy
start,
as well
though.
because these are like the best Gardevoir players, right?
Yeah, they got the best Gardevoir players. Gardevoir's a really good deck right now. They've hit like some fine matchups.
Just hasn't come
Stuff
together.
coming in. Oh, I guess one thing we have to keep around is keep in mind as well. There is still the Mawile potential in this matchup, right? They do have the
Another
Turo,
thing to think about, yeah.
and they would have benched Manaphy here. I'm pretty sure if they had it.
Honestly, after the Aiden Koos versus Nucci finals matchup, I did a lot of thinking about this matchup, and I almost wonder, like, as Gardevoir, if you can just play it in a way that you.
I think they have the guaranteed.
stagger-
I think they have the Greninja attack guaranteed with that. Oh, yep. Now they definitely have it. I think they have vacuum into double gate. If the energy's in the deck, though, they've already lost on 2 energy here. They
That is
actually
true.
might
And
not
there's a
have
few
it.
in the discard pile.
Yeah, I don't know what they prized.
Yeah. You listen in?
Yeah, I can go listen on the US side. See what they're cooking.
But since we know that Manaphy is prized, we don't have to Greninja this turn, right?
Yeah, but we definitely want to. Like the matchup is
We know,
terrible.
obviously we want to, but I think that we like Chorus more than. Oh, we also know we prized a Chorus, so like the odds we draw one off the thing or whatever. How do you guys feel? Make sure you don't Wings and use Star Alchemy. Yeah.
Okay.
That would have been
Is
hilarious.
it?
All right. Do we think we're
Dude.
gonna hit it? We have 4 outs.
And then it could also be stopped, but that's not like reliable.
We
Like
have
I think.
yeah.
I think
What-
so. I genuinely think that getting to 10 faster is probably better. And then we
Well,
still
I mean,
might
I'm
hit
also
it.
down because we can ninja next turn, right?
We can just Ninja next turn because we know they have it the Manaphy prized. So even if it doesn't get Curlias, like it's still taking prize cards. Like we're allowed to just like keep
Yeah.
pace.
Okay.
I'm also
so
down to just hit it out.
I'm also just down to hit it here. Like that would also be fire.
So I'm small sending his Mawile.
All right, yeah. So they're debating there. Do they go with the Super Rod? I think. Yeah, did they go with
So they
the
ripped
Super
the
Rod?
stop. I think that was something else they were thinking about.
Yeah, they get the
Or
stop with the
Chorus.
Chorus. They're going with the gate before the Culver's here, so they can load up 2 energy on the Greninja now. Or I guess they go 1 water with Lightning active, I would assume. Oh, they didn't put the
Well,
Lightning
they can always
active.
pull Lightning Psychic out of the deck.
I guess that's another Rod to have to commit, though. Oof.
I didn't get it.
It's a lot of switch cards, though. I wonder if Kyogre's like okay in this matchup. I wonder if you should just get the extra switch card, though. To be honest, that's how I generally feel about this matchup. Is that the what's it called? It's not great, but they are just gonna go with the Cram hit.
Australia is probably going to be fist pumping here that this is not Greninja.
Oh wait, they're not done yet though. They're thinking about going to another Comfy here. Yeah, I was surprised to see
Taking
them.
the prize definitely seems better than just flower selecting.
I feel like they should have gone water to the Greninja, lightning to the Comfey there, because they had no
Yeah.
guarantees unless they want to burn another gate now. But I feel like burning that gate now was like not what they probably wanted to
Oh,
do.
they can Sableye here. Is there 9 in their lost zone?
Oh, I don't actually know. Is there? I don't know how good. I guess Sableye's okay here. Are they gonna?
Culver's never ideal.
How much? Yeah, how much value can they put in the Kyogre? They're going heavily into the value for the
Yeah.
Kyogre. Oh no, because this leads to the. I don't know. They're not relying on Kyogre here. They
Okay,
have the
this
Greninja
is-
play.
this
They
gets
have the
them
Greninja play.
Yep.
Yeah, I missed that for a second. I was thinking Kyogre when I saw the recycler, but they did get the Greninja play. It did cost 2 gates though.
It is pretty costly Greninja. It's going to jump them pretty far ahead. Now, this is what I was talking about, though, as the Gardevoir player. So, like, as Gardevoir this turn, you're going to lose 2 Refinement Curlius here, right? Not ideal. But if you can just go, like, Candy Gardevoir, evolve the other Curlia into Gardevoir, evolve the other Curlia into Gardevoir, and then you can still get a Curlia back with, like, Super Rod, right? You can get to a board where you have, like, your 4 Gardevoirs in play. Everything's kind of out of range.
Yeah, you can get
It's-
there. I mean, that's why being
That's
ahead is.
and that's literally what Nucci did in the finals of Knoxville.
Yeah.
Is he got to a board where he had like Guardi EX and 2 Arcana in play, and that was it. So that was all he had in play, and it felt like from that position, it was just really hard for him to ever lose.
Yeah, and that's why like the important thing is to like be ahead in the prize exchange so you can take turns off where you don't draw a prize card. You can punch with a cram for a turn. And that's why I do like putting Dragonite in play aggressively in this matchup. It's because those turns come up sooner than you think. And if they go counter catcher, shiny Arcana, KO your Gardevoir, they've set themselves up for a Sableye or a Cram KO anyways. So yeah,
US is obviously jumping very far ahead here.
Iona's gonna start to hit for sure.
Also, this hand for Australia.
That's all right. We have 1 refinement. The question is, what do you get rid
It's
of here?
gotta
They're all
have to be that
good.
refinement.
Everything's good here. Jirachi protects from Sableye. Cresselia is one of your best attackers right this turn
I mean, they
to
don't
KO
want
the
to put Jirachi in play
Sableye.
because of Mawile. Right? No, they're both their Mawiles are already gone. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the Jirachi protecting from Sableye is a pretty big deal. Cresselia as an attacker is really good. And then the draw power of Greninja is also important. But if you draw into a Shiny Arcana, you want to be able to candy it for like the play you were trying to say, where you just kind of get everything too high of HP for the Lost Zone player to be able to deal with. There goes Cresselia. No, it's dead.
It's nothing. Absolutely
Oh
nothing.
my gosh, the hand is dead, and Sableye's a coming, or they could just
They can get
Greninja
ninja again.
Yeah, they could get ninja again. You retreat here at least, I assume, right? To something. You don't want to give them the cram option if that's all they have. Well, they take away the Sableye option as well, so they're forcing it all on the Greninja, right?
Yep. Wow.
Sheesh. And I don't actually think they have it. They have a
No, they've got an
gate.
energy in hand. As long as there's another,
Oh,
as long as there's another basic energy in the deck, they've
I
got
think
it.
there
It
is.
is committing 3 total Mirage Gates to using Greninja, but like you go to 1 prize, right? You always
yeah.
do this.
You win with Boss with Cram. You win with
You
Sableye
can
on the
Sableye
active.
their active. Yeah.
Like, yeah, you have a lot of time to close this out. You still have the potential of like a Pidgeot attack or a Dragonite attack as well. And it is 2 energy, so we could actually get 1 on the Sableye as well. Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, yeah, the
Did one go on
Sableye.
the Comfey ever?
That's a good question. Yeah, Sableye can only hit the active here. So, like, it can't kill the Greninja next turn or something like that. But Boss would win with Sableye, but I can see it the same way with Cram. I almost like it on the Comfey a little bit better, to be honest. I actually don't disagree with you. Do they ever rip the Pokestop just to keep going through their deck, or do you just
You
leave
might
it?
want to hang on to Pokestop so
Let me
you
get
can
to those.
guaranteed have it next turn.
I want to get through those super odds, though, I feel like.
Yeah, I guess you give yourself a chance to just have it in play for 2 turns. Do you ever? What's your odds
Yeah.
of milling Colress here as well? Is another question.
I mean, if your deck is just all item cards at the end of the game, I think you're fine with 0 colors in the deck. But that is true. Do you just want to leave
Also,
around
when
stuff?
should this? Yeah, Pidgeot go back into the deck is another thing I was going to ask. I mean, I think if you're going to Pokestop, you want to put Pidgeot back in first.
I think they're just doing this to burn nest balls. To be honest, I don't know how many they want to burn here, or if they just want this extra Comfey in play to have more recovery around Ionos. That's maybe.
Well,
what
if they're going to
thinking.
use Pokestop as well, taking Comfey out of the deck is better than.
Oh, true. Then the Pidgeot. Yeah, put the Pidgeot
Yeah, you'd
back.
be like your Pidgeot to be in the deck to potentially get milled because it's not useful anymore.
That's true. That's true. Maybe they would have. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess nest ball. I mean, I actually wouldn't hate to see them play this other nest ball as well. The nest balls just aren't that good at this point.
Yeah, I
getting
mean, there's 2
Iono.
Pokemon left in the deck. I mean, it might be nice to like Sableye once, they KO it, you can Sableye again, but I mean, you're going to go down to just 1 prize card here, right? Like,
Yeah.
you probably just don't need the nest ball. That's fair.
See, now the question is the Pokestop. Like you said, yeah, if you put it in play this turn, you can use it next turn as well. You need very little to win the game at this point.
But if you keep it, you guarantee you'll have it next turn.
Yeah, I didn't see the boss when they searched through there. Did they lost on or is it in the prize cards?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. They're going to take 2 of them here, so they've got a decent shot if it is prized. Let's take a look. 2 prizes and no boss.
It
Don't
might
know
be
if
the
it's in
last
the
prize
lost
card.
zone or not.
Yeah, I don't remember if it got lost owned. Top deck.
And yep.
They don't lose technically yet. The top deck Iono would be pretty good. I think we might see the U.S. taking the lead for the first time here. Yeah, they're gonna go for the Roar of the Sword.
U.S. needs
Oh,
an
no, wait, they have
escape rope.
Sable. Oh, no, yeah.
Escape rope wins. Escape rope wins.
No, because you can't KO the Zacian.
Oh yeah, because Zacian came down. Yep. My
I
bad.
don't think they have a win condition this turn unless they get their last gate plus a super rod. That's their win condition is gate plus super rod, but we'll see.
I mean, 14 cards in deck. They can Comfey once if they need to. It depends on how many switch cards they have still.
Stop is in the hand. I mean, if they
They've
play
got
the
Stop
course and
Colress,
start
that's
playing.
8. 9, 10 with a flower selecting.
Oh,
If
they're
they
gonna
know the
get-
contents of their deck and they've got enough switch cards left, it's pretty decent odds. Rip him with the Pokestop first. I don't hate. Just a nest ball that's pretty useless.
I need to find. Yeah, I need to find. There's all right. There it is.
Yep,
Mirage Gate
yeah,
Super
yeah.
Rod. All right. U.S. closes it
GG's.
out, and that's it. They only have 1 deck left. They have control. And to be honest, at this point, this is where it doesn't really matter what either team sends up. At this point,
U.S. right now on a 4-1 streak. By the way, Team Australia started 2-0, and then since then has gone 1-4 in games.
Yeah, the Guardian deck has not been able to get a dub. They have not been able to get a dub. As we close out this game number 7, yeah, U.S. has to throw up control, and this is where it's like Australia has to win with both of their decks, so it doesn't really matter what they send up here. Although they might just want to send up the deck that they think has the better matchup to get out of the way, and then kind of go all in on that final game. But yeah, we already know what's going to be getting sent up here, so just going to take a second quick shout out the sponsors once again of the show match Game Grid. Check them out over at GameGridSLC.com. Evie, if you could throw up their links in the chat, I'd appreciate it. If you guys are looking for Temple Forces products specifically, they got them available for pre-order over there. So check them out, GameGridSLC.com. As always, you can use code AzulGG. Get yourself a discount. And then also TC Evolutions, the other sponsor of the event today. Shout out to them as well. Check them over at TCEvolutions.com. They make the highest quality dice, damage counters, markers in the Pokemon TCG space. Check them over at TCEvolutions.com. And code AzulGG also works over there to get yourself a discount. And yeah, I think Team US already loading in, right? They're already ready to go. They know what they have to play. It's got to be Control. And Australia knows they have to beat Control twice.
Yeah.
But both decks are solid against Control. I think we got 2 decks that are favorable against Control here.
Yeah, so someone in the chat, actually, Bobby J here, or Bob JY something, just said something interesting. Surely they send up the deck with the worst matchup because they can choose first or second this next game, right? So.
Oh, true. So
you should send the one that you think you have a worse matchup with first.
When you want control
so that
over
if you
first
lose, you can choose first or second. Oh wait, no. What am I saying? If they lose, they lose. If they lose, it's over.
But they get to pick for this one. They don't get to pick for the next one.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So you should wait. So Joe, should you maximize? Should you capitalize as much as possible and choose the one that has the best matchup when you know you're going to?
No, I think you should pick the one that has the worst matchup and then pick the better of first or second. Although with both decks in this matchup, I don't know if it matters that much. I guess Mew, you would definitely want to go first against Control. So I would assume, actually, then Australia would want Mew. Yeah. As far as
Australia is choosing first here.
That's what I wanted to be. Yeah, once we get down to match point, we're doing an overall match prediction in the Twitch chat now. Australia chose first.
Australia chose first, and they did choose.
I'm assuming it's Mew. We're gonna go over there. Yeah, that makes sense though, right? Because you want to be able to establish and set up in this matchup. Because you could get cheesed by Spiritomb, right?
All right.
Reduce the odds of that happening.
So, anytime you play up against a deck like this, Snorlax, it's trying to win in an unconventional way. You kind of have to change your strategy a little bit, most decks, and play things. You have to respond in an unconventional way. You have to play your deck a little differently than you maybe normally would otherwise. Is that the case for Mew, or do you just go as aggressive as possible and try to bench them out and draw as many cards with your Genesects?
I mean, you can basically do both things as Mew in this matchup. Like, Judge is really disruptive against the Control deck. You play a high amount of switch cards, which you want to get into your hand, so that way they can't be Misfortune Sisters.
Do they ever just go for a double Mew VMAX strategy and that's it?
And just max Miracle every turn?
Mm-hmm.
I guess technically you could do that. But I mean, honestly, with the start they have here currently, I guess they could go for it. They are lining up a Genesect, but to be honest, I didn't really ever think about that as an option because usually you have to draw cards to play the game. But I guess their current hand, especially on a Cram Heads, would have let them play the game that way. Honestly, I wouldn't have hated it. But
because they would have had no cards in their hand as well. They would have only been Psychic Leaping, right?
Well, yeah, so to begin with, but you'd draw cards eventually. But I guess the thing would be like, yeah, I feel like that's, I don't know, it just depends. Like, you do 2-hit KO the Snorlaxes, right? So you get there eventually.
Yeah.
Actually, you don't get through the caped Snorlax. The caped one will.
I mean, eventually they could run you out of energy is also the thing. If you're not, like, they can mix in their Sydneys, right?
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's probably just best to just be aggressive.
No,
yeah,
they don't play Flannery, do they? Nobody plays Flannery anymore, right?
Is that a card? Is that illegal?
Yeah, Flannery's still legal. Yeah, no. I guess that answer, nobody still plays it. Yeah.
What does that one do again?
It discards the energy from play or the stadium from play.
Oh yeah, Poke Hawkeye in the chat.
No, because they have
Giacomo.
Giacomo.
Yeah, that would actually that's definitely the killer. That's the killer for sure. It was worth considering for a second though, because you do like to try and find cheesy ways to beat Control. Sometimes they think they beat you, but if you just play optimally, they don't actually have a good chance. But yeah, I think you do have to just kind of full setup, and we do see that commitment here from Australia. And then, yeah, you're gonna judge them. You can path if you want to shut down the Rotom aggressively. You can boss KO them. Like, this is a pretty good follow up hand already here, right? Like, you got the judge option to KO the Rotom. They did lose a vacuum. The vacuums are pretty good in this matchup because it gets rid of the Temple of Sinnohs. And then it also gets rid of the tools. Yeah, the vacuums are really, really good. So I think they're almost debating they're trying to not get rid of the vacuum, but kind of had to.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, really good to get rid of the Bravery Charm. can get rid of a Forest Seal Stone if they put it down and don't use it right away. Usually, when Control puts their Seal Stone in play, they're going to use it basically instantly.
Yeah.
This Pokegear, though, doesn't find much.
Yikes!
Yeah, this
Is
might
it
be.
dude,
This might
another-
be.
Is it donked? Is it over?
It might be.
And we're going to game number 9. I mean, to be honest, I'm
yeah,
happy we're
'cause-
going to the end of it all, but like this,
It's not guaranteed just yet, but it's.
I think it is.
You gotta think
they have
that-
Technoblast in hand. They have 4 Seal Stone plus
Oh,
UV
yeah,
Max.
yeah. They've got 4 Seal Stones still. Yep. That's GG's. Wow.
Oh, Temple of Sinnoh. No, they have the vacuum as well. They literally have everything. Man, I feel like this build of control is like one of the most consistent decks in the format, to be honest. Like,
What spaghetti games, man?
yeah, this has been interesting. I like us coming down to game 9, but yeah, these have been some quick games. Quite a few of them have been pretty quick.
Jeez.
And now we'll finally see can the deck that US couldn't win with control. I mean, this is what it comes down to, I guess, at the end. I guess you could have not queued the deck up yet. You don't have to play a deck until the last game, potentially. But this is the situation where it's like the controls come up twice, the Guardies come up 3 times. Neither deck has won for either team, but one of them has to win here, going down into this game number 9.
Here we go. Game number 9. This is what you hope for when you schedule something up like this. This is going to be really exciting. I don't think if you had told me going into this that we were going to get to a game 9, I don't think that I would have necessarily predicted, one, that the Americans would even have brought control necessarily, but they have it. That's fine. It's not that big of a surprise. But I think the bigger surprise here is that the last deck for Team Australia is Gardevoir, like the deck that they are definitely the best with.
Yeah, the deck that definitely the best with the Gardevoir, and it's coming down to this. They have the Turo, they have the Collapsed.
Yeah.
What else really matters for this matchup? Not too much, to be honest.
What the starter is something to keep our eye out for, right? How quickly they are going to be pressured. How many energy they prize potentially, right? If they prize too many basic energy,
That can be a thing as well. Yeah.
you might not be able to move your Ralts around with like teleportation burst if that's what it's going to be interesting to see how it shapes up here.
Yeah, we'll
You
definitely
need like almost all of your psychic energy in this matchup, I think, is
well,
Gardevoir.
if you end up in like a full board scenario,
Which you almost have to end up in that scenario, right?
there's no Avery as well on the US side, so they can do like the teleportation Ralt strategy.
Yeah.
Because you can't Avery them away and then check
Yep.
with invitation on the next turn or something.
Yeah. Or Avery Horn.
Yep. All right. Well, here we go into the final game.
Are we looking at Team Australia? I want to see what they start here.
Who's going first? Team Australia or I am on Australia
Team
right
Australia is going first. Team
Okay,
Australia
yeah.
is going first.
now. I actually don't even know if you want to go first or second in this matchup either, to be honest. Oh, no, that's
Start
fine though.
Zacian.
That's a fine starter though, right?
That's
It can-
fine. That's fine.
They can actually, their hand allows them to just like go solo Zacian until I bet you'd probably put a
Yeah.
Ralt in play because the
Honestly,
Mimikyu.
not bad, right? And they're gonna get a couple mulligans here too.
Yeah, the Mimikyu will come down, but the Zacian can retreat, right?
Yeah.
Actually, do you ever not draw the mulligans there for how good your hand was?
Probably not.
Really?
You probably should still always just draw your mulligans.
I don't know about that. You had VIP. You only want to get like 1 or 2 Ralts here. What if you draw into like Jirachi Manaphy? Like I don't know. It's something to think about for sure.
I guess so.
But yeah, they're gonna-
You want to listen in? Let's hear how they're gonna approach it.
Okay.
You're
Yes. No. We battle pass.
right. Okay, yeah, all good. We're good to go. Okay.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. No rolls, no
Surprising you
Corellias.
Alright.
No Arcana. I can't see a single Pokemon. Mew's not
Mew.
there. Mew's prized.
Oh, that's
This is
bad for us. But
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
You should get the Pokemon first.
Boss is prized.
Boss is fine.
It's not great.
Fog. We have Turo collapse. We're fine.
2 energy.
Oh, we have 2 energy prized.
2 energy. Is it Fog? Fog.
Yeah,
The last card definitely isn't important.
do your basics. Because
Get
we
the
can do it
rolls.
with the raw. Get the basics.
Yeah, we're chilling.
Don't miss.
Is it CC?
Okay, well, we'll get to see on the raw anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Attach raw. I mean, the thing is, like, this isn't great against Arvin, but yeah, it's fine. Okay, we're gonna do this.
But like as well, if they boss one of the rolls to avoid an attack, we just step.
Yeah, and we're
Yeah.
chilling. This is a good point. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
We could also debate if they just bench like a Rotom and do something. We just attack. Then if they gust a rolls, we step.
Yeah, no point playing Ultra Ball.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, they're going to have this aggressive start here with the Zacian. It is threatening a knockout already on this first Snorlax. Of course, Bravery Charm isn't something that's too hard to find. But it's actually like the most aggressive start you can have in this matchup. I think it's opening Zacian. Because usually Gardevoir's not attacking until like quite a bit later in this matchup.
Yeah, this is honestly pretty solid, I think, as the Gardevoir player here.
That's a lot of Pokemon search here on this side as well, though.
Yeah. And they're gonna
Oh,
immediately...
the VIP passes Pry.
Oh, well, it doesn't really matter though, because they've got 2 Snorlax, right? So they've got 1 in the active, they got 2 in
True.
hand now. Now they can just Arven for Nest Ball, and I think it's fine.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, you maybe wanted the Mimikyu to like force the Guardy player to play the game a little bit more, right?
Yeah, VIP pass would definitely be better.
Yeah, I don't know if you put. I don't know if
they've
you
got Nest Ball in hand.
Yeah, but now you can't get 4 lakhs plus Mimikyu if you. I don't know how good Mimikyu is in this matchup, to be honest, but it does prevent Zacian just swinging over. Oh, they don't even want Arven here. Oh, were they going for an invitation? They maybe just wanted an aggressive invitation, which
What
actually
kind
I
of
don't
read
hate.
is that? That would have been something.
Well, they did draw 2 mulligans, right?
Yeah, sure.
So actually, I don't hate it. You do need invitation a lot in this matchup, right? So, and it looks like they're trying to be really. They're getting a Poke Gear
they're
here.
getting the Poke Gear here. Yeah, they're just going to be looking for invitation next turn.
Yeah, I think they want to like at least do this first invitation before the Gardevoir player has had a turn to reset their hand. So if an Iono doesn't get played next turn, they still feel like it's still pretty good odds. They haven't had no interaction with their hand, right? So
what do you think about this first? It's always interesting to me as Snorlax where they use their Bravery Charm initially, right? Because you're going to get one of your Snorlax is going to fall eventually, right? Wouldn't you rather a Snorlax just fall and then you get value from Bravery Charm immediately after that? Or do you want to try to prolong it as much as possible? Because like either you're going to have to penny to save this Bravery Charm next turn, or you're just going to lose it.
yeah, and then you don't have access to Counter Catcher yet either.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not too sure. I feel like maybe giving up the first Snorlax there does maybe make a little bit more sense. Just let it go down.
Yeah.
And now you have it on the next one, which is basically the same thing. All right, I think they like we talked about the aggressive invitation.
No invitation.
They got the penny though.
They had 1 in hand.
Yeah, they'll be able to penny loop here for a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't hate the idea of just like giving up a Snorlax here. Or what if you had sent up the Pidgeot here? Could you have ever just send up Pidgeot here to absorb a hit?
Yeah, almost. Yeah, because as Gardevoir, you can't put those extra energies onto the Zacian, right?
You want to avoid it. Well, I mean, it's not that
'cause-
bad. It depends like when the
yeah,
Zacian
everything's
needs to move.
situational, right? But generally, putting too many energies can lead to.
You ever just overload here Zacian this turn as well, just so you can get through the Bravery Charm? Should you attack again? Did it get
That might
pennied,
be
or
what they're
should you?
thinking about.
Yeah, maybe that's something they should have done last turn as well, right? Should they just roar to the sword last turn? Because they had the extra energy in hand, I believe, as well. Had the,
Just
the psychic
roar. I mean, hitting does force the
penny. Yeah.
penny or the KO, right? It guarantees one of those two things is going to happen. And if you definitely would rather them play penny than anything else.
Yeah, but you're not scared of invitation this turn, right? You're not scared of.
No, you're
your opponent
not. You're
and there's
not.
the invitation. They're going to go for it, but they're not going to
Yeah.
find anything.
You're going to be pretty bummed about that one. Yeah, still a pretty looking hand.
Yeah, so this means this is going to force an Iono out of Team US next turn, right? They got to reset the hand, try and put some.
And they're going to lose. This is what I was talking about. They're going to lose this Bravery Charm.
Yeah. Oh, not going to play the Nest Ball? I feel like well, like I said, they're planning to not get
Just get
Iono.
Mimikyu to push.
Yeah, they could have got Mimikyu and pushed a Mimikyu on this next turn to force, and then combo that with an Iono, force them to play the game.
Yeah, this is looking a little rough. Can we listen to what US is saying?
Sure.
Nothing.
Oh, they're just waiting for us.
This is gonna be so hard.
All right, we'll tune in again when it comes back to their turn. They are giving the access to counter catcher here now on the Australian side. But yeah, let's go back over to Team US and let's see what they're saying.
Yeah.
As they get into their turn. I guess it makes sense for us to tune in on their turn.
Yeah, my bad.
They're still completely checked out. They're not even. I mean, they're just going through the motion on this one. They do put up the Mimikyu here, and I feel like there would have been some. It does feel like there were some potential missed sequences here. They could have had the Mimikyu in the active this turn.
Yep.
Now they're nest balling for this Snorlax. That would allow them to play an Iono this turn to reset this hand, and hope that it draws into those basic Pokemon that Eric's Invitation is better at finding, right?
So let's see how Team Australia is going to respond to the Mimikyu. They do have boss in their hands. They could just like take out a Snorlax. Saving your boss is usually pretty good though.
Yeah, we can go ahead and tune
to
in
get
and
out of a
see.
block.
Let's just go ahead and tune in and see how they're going to tackle this next. They have to come up with something.
Actually can't win. We can't get anything trapped anymore. We have Turo collapsed and boss in deck. Like, how do we ever lose?
This Fortune Sisters doesn't do anything. We just always win. Yeah.
The only card we're worried about is back.
Yeah.
But like, we can't get any basics trapped anymore. I mean, we're probably going
They're
to.
going to step. They're going to step.
But...
Like they still need to switch card or penny this turn. I mean, they probably have switch card in hand. But
Are they actually going to be able to load up their bench to the point where nothing gets stuck? Is that going to be?
That's what they're doing right here. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, isn't that? But they have to put 3 energy on everything, though, right?
Huh? Sorry, I was deafening.
Well, like they have to put like 3 energy on everything, though. At this point, like slapping isn't enough. You just slap.
No,
I feel like they can still
but
get
they can
stuck.
evolve these. Yeah, so they have to put energies on everything. I mean, the Raltses can just teleportation burst, right? You can just put 1 energy on those.
Yeah. But the Curlies all have to become Guardies. Oh,
Yeah.
And they got a reversal there. That's an energy they're not going to be able to utilize.
Yeah, that is true.
I don't know. I'll have to see how this breaks down. But yeah, if everything
It's because they do still have 2 psychic energy in the prizes as well.
Yeah, they do have Turbo and Collapse, so they still have 2 more outs out. Maybe every time something gets brought up, they're able to just attack with it, and then Collapse to get energy back, attack with it, and also Turbo get the energy
What else
back.
could they have done that turn even? What would have been better than Retreat Mirage Step?
They could have got more Ralts down, I guess, would be the only thing, because those take less energy to do something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your bench could have been like...
Yeah, you could have just
You could have just had Zacian, a Shiny Arcana, and a bunch of Ralts. But
Yeah.
I don't know if that's better, but that would have ended up in a board state that's a little bit more... little less energy reliant, I guess.
There's an Iona. Reset this big hand from US. You want to try to do that like on a turn you're taking a knockout generally.
Yeah. Well, you also want to do it when you when you draw into Jirachi or Manaphy, and then you if you have other Pokemon search cards, like you can level up on Ultra Ball for the rest of them and put them all in the bottom of the deck.
So is this just an Arcana swing into the active here?
I mean, you could.
They have to evolve a Guardi EX and a Guardi here.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Then the Guardi EX gets counter captured. They also have the boss on the Rotom eventually. If that doesn't get,
Yeah. That has to get pennied at some point.
Yeah, if that doesn't get pennied, and actually they might just get aggressive for that here, and they are. They're just gonna go get rid of the Rotom right now. This does remove a retreat option, but they'll go down to 3 prize cards left. That might just be enough.
Yeah. This is kind of nice as well. You want to capitalize on this Rotom before it leaves play.
Yeah,
right.
it
You
could get,
want to
like,
take these 2
pennied.
prizes. If you ever can KO Rotom, like you're just making the game that much easier for yourself to potentially win.
Yeah,
Because KOing 1 Rotom is the same as having to KO 2 Snorlax, which 1 Rotom has as much HP as 1 Snorlax does when it has a Bravery Charm equipped, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you always want to get this Rotom KO whenever you can, especially because you want to be a little bit pressed for prize card draws here for sure.
All right, when it gets to US, let's hear how they react.
Yeah, they did not sound. There was not much energy over there last time, but yeah, when we switch back over here, tune to the US side of things, see if they
They're
can
gonna
come
play
up
to
with
any out
something.
they have, yeah.
Yeah, they will definitely play to whatever else they have, and now is going to be the time where you have to start counter catching stuff up for sure.
Yeah. Ghost Town.
We've got nothing on the side of US. I don't know if they started talking right as I deafened, but
No, I'm listening still.
yeah, they're just going through the motions.
Not a word has been said.
Yeah, they're checked. I think they think they're in a pretty rough spot here, for sure.
They just Pokegeared into 7 supporters.
They go for the Ralts grab here, but they definitely seem pretty defeated at this point, and it's a tough spot. I don't even know if this is like a very reasonable situation to make a comeback in. To be honest,
Yeah.
It's definitely tough. We'll see. Now we got to see what Australia decides to do. Here's where the teleportation burst can come in, right? You should attach to the active Ralts, teleportation burst to the bench.
Yeah.
The Guardi EX.
That's the play to go for here.
That's why I'm kind of surprised that Curlier wasn't brought up there. By
Well, Curly can
Use over
evolve
there.
and attack. You want to delay?
I
Maybe
guess
as long as
maybe
possible?
maybe trying to buy yourself some time there for sure. Oh, they got rid of the energy. Oh no, you can always
Ooh.
guardy it there though. You can always guardy it to the active. For some reason, I
Yeah.
thought it had to come from hand, but that does seem fine here. Yeah, yeah. The bench is just
Yeah,
loaded up with
totally fine.
attackers. And also they can keep like rare candy around as well, so the rolls could be. Well, I guess you're always gonna teleportation burst. And you can always collapse away something that has energy on the bench that gets stuck eventually, but. There's the reversal. I guess one of the things you don't want to get caught is the reversal energy, but
Yeah, the reversal energy probably makes the most sense to just attach to anything with a colorless attack at some point, right?
yeah, put on one. I mean, put on anything to be honest. That works on anything besides the rolls.
Besides rolls.
I mean, it could get Giacomo at some point, so you don't want to put it ahead of probably. They've
yeah,
already
it
used
depends
this
on
Sydney,
how likely you
so-
think. Oh, what do you think of this? They're gonna evolve this other rolls.
All right. I mean, is
That's-
there a possibility that it oversteps? I don't know. See, they've maybe already done the math and just realized they can't lose with the Turo and the collapse left. It might be impossible for them to lose. That is,
Yeah,
it
with
is
3
possible.
prizes left, right? Yeah.
Yeah, with 3 prize cards left, it might not be possible. But
Because
they're
they
gonna.
can always throw something out of the active if it gets stuck. They can always collapse away energy from their bench to load them to the active.
So
There's just so many ways.
they're gonna teleportation burst here, send up the Guard EX, I imagine. Also, that 10 damage is actually relevant for Guard EX to then KO the Snorlax if it has a Bravery
It's true.
Charm.
It's true.
So I assume that's what's gonna happen here. And then
Yeah.
next turn you swing with the Guard EX, take a prize card.
Yeah, always run into the Guardy EX because if they go to Mimikyu, you can retreat, attack with a regular Guardy.
Yeah, because then you get the energy off the Guard EX, which is almost better at that point, because then it frees up for more attacking options. But yeah, here comes that teleportation burst. Right to the bench. And the Guardy's up. All right, let's see. US. I don't think we're going to tune into the comms, but we'll see if they come up with any crazy play we maybe didn't think of. They're going into the cheer. They're getting Rotom back. And the invitation. Nope, just the boss. What are they going for here? They don't even know.
Rotom coming back is kind of interesting. I mean, it can eat a hit as well, but it still needs a Bravery Charm.
They didn't even get the boss there. Interesting.
They just need to draw cards, I think. And they've got their 4 Sealstone in hand, right? So I think that's probably partially why we're seeing this. They do have all 4 Counter Catcher in hand, so we're going to see those Curlias start to be brought up.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Maybe I guess there's no more boss on the Guardy side, so you don't have to protect your.
The Bravery Charm here.
Be a Guardy
I
X
think
evolve again on the active then.
Well,
Ooh, okay.
okay,
so
and they're
I
going
like
to use
that.
the Switch
Yeah.
Guard. Yeah, I like that too.
So we're not going to see a knockout on this next turn from Guardy, I don't believe.
And the thing is, as well, for the Guardy players, they should not extend here, and
Want to KO
they should
this.
not, go for the KO on this, right? They
Well,
should
I guess
just,
they could because they do have the collapse, right? Because then if something else gets stuck, you collapse that away.
yeah, but then I don't know that they're far enough ahead yet that that's worth it. Maybe if that was them going to 1 prize, it would still be worth it. It could get a little sketchy, I think, if they went really hard for this KO. They go to 2 prizes, then they get counter catchered, they have to collapse away, they attack again. I guess as long as with the next one they didn't go super hard, it would be fine, right?
Yeah, should be all good.
As long as they don't go super hard 2 times before like actually winning the game.
Yeah, I think all they have to do is like punch here and chill. They're even going to go ahead and grab the Screamtail. Once again, it probably doesn't matter. It goes with the Manaphy in the end. 1
Yeah.
energy left in deck. But yeah, they have the biggest thing is the collapse to be able to recover the energy is a big deal. And then they could even, they could go like collapse, vacuum away the collapse, and then re-bench like a Roltz. So there's not even an opportunity for Team US to go like replace the collapse plus Erica's invitation. But even if they do that, there's still a Turo left.
Yeah. It's seeming all but hopeless here for Team USA. Australia waking up first thing in the morning,
Get the dub.
getting dubs, getting paid.
Yeah, it was a tough start, right? Because Australia started out 2-0.
Yeah.
And I forget what the matchup was after that, but I felt like it was a matchup where it's like Australia favored, but they drew kind of poorly. Oh, they're going in. They're getting aggressive
got
actually with the
donked
vacuum.
Their Mew, right?
Is that what happened? Oh yeah, their Mew got donked. Was that it? Was that the first?
Oh, this is pretty good here. Vacuum away the
just be
vacuum
aggressive.
away the Bravery Charm.
Oh, they're even gonna go ahead and Ion. All the counter catchers going to the bottom of the deck.
Yeah, that's actually this is a good time to do it if you're going to take this knockout, right?
Yep. Now they also conserve their collapse from getting potentially Sydneyed, which is maybe the number 1 factor there.
Also,
why they did
definitely a
that.
factor.
Yep. And now they did the play, right? They got the Giratina and the Manaphy. They're on the bottom of the deck, or I think one's in the discard pile now, maybe. But there's
Yeah,
no
it doesn't
bench
even
space.
matter at this point, though.
Yeah, this one's feeling like a formality, especially with the Turo still remaining. This is all the energy though. So they can gust
Yeah,
a
they do need to
Kirlia.
take some energy out of the prize cards here. I think do they still have 2 energy remaining in their final 3 prizes?
Wait, is this doable?
Let's see if they take the energy off
They
the
have
prizes
Turo and
here.
Collapse, so I don't think it is doable. They got to knock out here. Turo should... Well, the Snorlax could eventually have a Bravery Charm on it, which could make a difference as well, right?
Let's see if hang on. Energy take.
Is there 2 prized?
I think there's 2 energy left in their prizes.
I haven't done the math yet, so I don't know if this matters at all or not. There's a Luxurious Cape as well, so that could make knockouts tough. They have the boss. They definitely need to gust here. Looks like they're going to opt for a Counter Catcher instead. Get the Force Seal Stone back. I feel like you got to put the Luxurious Cape on the active here, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, otherwise your opponent has just so many ways to... Well, no, do you have to save it for the last one? You can't just...
Well, you want
'cause
to
if
live.
if you
Living
go
is just
Counter
important.
Catcher-
Oh, I guess could you just lose to like Turo Collapsed? If you put
Yeah,
the
that's
cape
what
on
I'm
there?
worried about. If you cape the active.
Or Seal Stone's coming down. No longer has the threat
Because
of
the
the
Luxurious Cape
vacuum.
does mean you give up 2 prize cards. So they're going to do it.
Does that actually win the game? Does Turo Collapse win?
They've got Turo in hand. Collapses on the bottom of the deck currently for Team Australia. Let's listen in and see if they close it out here this last game.
Let's see
Or
if they
this
got
last one.
Focus for energy.
Holy shit, they held through.
Yeah.
Focus for energy.
Wait, so yeah.
That
so they
is
have 1
such a
energy still in
throw.
the
Oh my
deck.
god.
Can we draw the whole deck? Just wait. So can we draw 14? We have research.
Oh, we need an Ultra Ball. Though we need an Ultra Ball for
Yeah, we need
the
an Ultra
Arcana
Ball
first
for
as well.
Yeah, for Arcana, how many are we drawing? We're drawing at least 10. Wait, 6.
No. Let's actually map out how to do this as well. We need to Turo the EX, collapse the Arcana.
Yeah, well, that's the easy part. We just need to draw the
and then
collapse.
no. But we also need to manual active.
Oh,
Get to
no.
7.
So we just have to keep the Psychic?
Yeah, we
No,
have to keep.
wait, why do we have to
Yeah,
manual?
because we need to manual. We need a manual.
Wait, I'm.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. Holy fuck. I almost did.
Okay,
Ultra
so we need an
Ball,
Ultra
Ninja.
Ball. Yeah.
Ultra Ball,
Ultra Ball,
Pass,
Ninja, and Bit.
Yeah.
And then start using Arcana.
Yeah.
Wait, is the Arcana under a Curlia?
Oh, we just
That
play,
is
use
a
the Arcana
fucking
first.
great question. That is a fucking great question. Yes, it is.
Wait, we could just scam an extra draw then.
Yeah, we scam 2 extra
Not
draw.
really. Not really.
'Cause they
yeah, let's get
Turo-
No,
Arcana.
we're not scamming.
Yeah, so they are going for the win here. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Apparently they have candies left too, though, so they could have candied that Ross into a shiny Arcana as well. But I guess they do have the raw attachment that they were talking about. 'cause
We
they
should
did
just
the
listen
7.
in, especially if this is going to be the game-winning turn.
All right, we can close it out listening to the rest.
Refine the research. See, we got to take advantage of this before they realize that they threw.
Fuck.
Refine the research again.
Can we double Arcana? Ever?
Yeah, I would probably use second Arcana.
Wait, can we? Is it possible? No, right?
I don't think I would do it.
Do we draw all the
Sorry, yeah.
basics? We draw all the basics.
They got rid of the research.
Do we just level ball pass? Force them to hit penny?
Wait, no, I mean, we're definitely going Arcana active here, right? There's no way we're not.
No, I don't think we do anything.
No way. We're not, we can draw 4, but it's 50-50 to win.
Dude, I think our odds of winning if we do nothing are higher than 50-50.
Oh, what do they need to
they-
hit?
Do they have a chance?
They have a penny to remove their
They have 3 penny in deck and they just rotomed.
code. I don't like this.
Yeah, but to be fair, they don't know. They don't know.
We
Yeah,
are
they-
drawing. Yeah, we're drawing 50.
I think we pass.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
I think you pass.
I agree.
I agree.
You have to force them to hit penny and hit a bravery charm as well. Consider that.
Yeah,
All right.
and see the line.
Yeah. So, they actually maybe if they didn't put the Luxurious Cape in play there, did they have a good chance of winning that? Because I think they had access to a Bravery Charm, right?
Was there one still in the deck?
I think there was, yeah. When there was the Arvin used last turn. They're thinking about using Silene, so they could penny this here, and then force Seal Stone for a Bravery Charm.
Let's listen to them now.
Okay, let's see if they have. Let's say that any thoughts.
Which is why I think I might have to keep this on, right?
Okay, so what I'm thinking is there if they don't, they're gonna hit this for 190
Yeah.
and Iono us. But I guess we have Seal Stone, so that doesn't matter. Okay. We have
Okay,
Seal Stone.
So we have a few. Okay, so we can Sydney and hope we hit their collapsed.
Okay. I am
more
down for
about that than I'm so
down for
about
that.
The other thing is, can we win? Do we think there's a chance that we win if we don't have this thing on our active, like this cape on our active? I mean, like, so should I have Penny it to take it away from being in the active guy?
I'm kind of more down to Sydney.
I just want to
Be honest. Like, be Sydney, we could also hit their reversal.
True. Which is another energy, yeah.
gear first. Yeah.
Please tell me Turo's prize, dude. Please.
That's what they're playing.
You do have Sydney in deck, right?
Yeah, it's in the yeah.
Okay, cool. I think it's Arvan.
Yeah.
It's not playing in deck. Okay.
All right, Chip. They sound pretty locked on the Sydney line.
Brenner brought up the penny.
Yeah, I know. Brenner brought the penny. They're hoping for the collapse here. They're hoping Turo's prize. They see the Turo. The collapse is in the deck, and I think Australia's got guaranteed access to the combo next turn.
They just groaned whenever they clicked through and saw the Turo, and John went, "That's really great, man."
The Turo honestly wouldn't be a guaranteed win here, though, unless there's a collapse, though. Oh, no. I guess maybe the KO
They can draw their
possible.
deck. They can draw their deck.
Yeah,
so.
but they could also still. But if they're hoping Turo's prize, they could also hope collapse is prized, right?
Right.
Unless they've seen the collapse, but I don't think there would have been a way for them to have seen it. Unless they did more Misfortune Sisters earlier.
No, I don't think so. But yeah,
All right.
they're gonna draw the whole deck here, and I think that is gonna do it, right?
Can they get the energy in the discard pile? If they collapse, Turo discards it. Turo doesn't take the
They
energy
need
with it.
7. Yeah, Turo
they
discards
can.
the energy. Collapse discards the others. Yeah, they've got it.
I mean, yeah, I think they got it. I'm gonna let them do it. It would be crazy if
listen
they
in.
threw at this point, but yeah, we can listen in here for the potential dub.
Holy shit, they literally threw so hard.
Sure, the EX. Embrace 6 times. Oh my god.
Holy shit. Holy fuck, I cannot believe we won that.
Do not misclick the Psychic Embrace.
I will not be. I've trained my whole life. I've played 3,000 games of PCG live. Do not misclick in this moment.
It's so crazy. Oh, let's go. That's so crazy.
Oh my god, they threw so hard. We literally out-prepped them. We bricked 3 games.
Yeah.
We literally just played better than them. Like, we outright played like 10x better than them.
Beat them in the format.
Like, we just beat them in the format. We just actually were just better than them.
Yeah, there it is.
There
the
you
dub.
go.
Australia, they're pumped. feeling it.
GG's.
I mean, if they had the Bravery Charm on a Snorlax instead, and then had access to 1 more Gust or 2 more Gust,
Yeah.
would that have been game? Was Guardy out of options at that point?
Yeah, I think that last energy being prized, that
Because-
extra Curlia being put into play as well, like
Yeah.
you mentioned, that could have maybe tried to have been a
'Cause you
Ralts
get to
as
the
opposed
point-
to...
You don't get to the point where after that point you can't attack anymore as Gardevoir, but you get to the point where you're only doing like 150 damage with a Gardevoir, and then they just gust around that Gardevoir,
Yeah.
and then that one maybe can't do anything, and then the game's over. But yeah, the cape coming down, making it worth 2 prize cards, allows for that final combo to get the dub there for Australia in the Guardy versus Control. That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be, and it seemed like it was a lot closer than the US team thought it was going to be as well. As they were kind of checked out after the first couple of turns, it seemed like.
Yeah. That part of me wonders as well, like them, Team US being a little checked out, did that cause them to not capitalize on a situation where they maybe could have found a line to win, you know?
Yeah, like the aggressivization start, they're already drawing prize cards or being aggressive. It looked like they were in a really good spot.
Were they
Yeah.
already defeated a little too early?
It seems
in
like
their
maybe.
minds,
It
yeah.
does seem like they were maybe like a little bit checked out a little too early, and maybe could have, a little bit more thinking in the tank could have led to, a possible win there for US.
Crazy, man.
Definitely a close series, great series.
Game 9's what you love to see.
Yeah, you love to see the game 9. Let's see if we can tune into an interview with them real fast. I'm not just going to jump in there. I'm going to let them know we're coming in to do an interview.
Did you?
What?
Nothing. Whatever you want to do.
Hold on 1 second. Yeah, we're gonna get an interview with the winners here real fast. I think. Well, I guess we could just like jump in there, to be honest.
James just said we can just join.
All right, yeah. All right, how's it going? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
In that last game there, I just want to
much.
ask. I want to ask immediately. Did they just have game there? Did you guys calculate it out? Did they just have game there if they had not put the cape on the Snorlax and they had Bravery Charm?
Yeah. Yes, they did.
I think it
Well-
would have been a 50-50. if
No, it's
they-
not.
if
They just have
we-
game. They just have
No,
game.
it was 50-50 if we unprized the psychic, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
Psychic
true.
being
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one
you're
surprise.
right.
Yeah, I think the issue is that he didn't have the knowledge that we prized Psychic, but they probably had to play as if we prized something.
Yeah, but I don't know why they attached cape though. That was very
Yeah,
interesting.
well, I think the cape was interesting the turn before, but then, like, just to stall because they didn't want us to tour with 3 energy, and because then we would win the game. So I think it came down to the second turn where they should have pennied, but the first turn it was correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways, there was definitely something better they could have done there for sure.
They also retreated into Mimikyu for no reason, which was
Yeah.
very funny.
Yeah, so you
We
think
did
that,
also make a mistake with the teleportation, I think. Like, we didn't think we'd get punished, but we ended up getting punished in the end for that.
I was going to ask
Yeah,
about the Mirage step turn as well.
Mhm.
Is that something that was that a little too aggressive to put those extra Curlias in play, as opposed to maybe having one of those become that one of those bench spots being a Ralts that can teleportation?
No. All right. I have played this matchup so much, and I know the line. T-bursting is usually not great because then your energy just gets stranded in all these different places. Like,
Sure.
you want to condense your energy so each collapse discards so many. Like your ideal board is literally to step for 3, bench double Ralts, and then like you go 5 energy on Arcana, they gust a Ralts, you just collapse the Gardevoir, go 5 energy on another Arcana. That's like the ideal line. But yeah, T-bursting in the middle of the game was a mistake because we needed to free up the energy to potentially go 5 on an Arcana.
all right. My next question would be for this format in Pokemon. How do you guys feel about it in general? Because I know Brent's played a lot of Hearthstone, right? I don't know if you others have played Hearthstone before, but Brent, you played a lot of Hearthstone, right?
Yeah.
And that's like always Conquest or Last Hero Standing. But like,
Yeah.
how do you feel about it in
Yeah.
Pokemon?
I think it's okay. The only issue is just having a clear distinction of what an archetype is.
Yeah. I
And
think
then
that-
after that, I think it works well.
okay, I think we roughed that out. And then,
Yeah, this was a very interesting format to prepare for.
yeah,
It was definitely very, very fun preparing for this. Like, you know, like we had this whole like meta going on. You know, like the whole counter Charizard thing that you probably ended up noticing from their list, and then we realized that counter Charizard was so obvious. Like, I think it's definitely really interesting. There's like massive metas going on within everything, so I really like the format personally.
yeah, it definitely is interesting. That definitely is interesting. So you guys did a lot of preparation and then ended up with Arceus in your pool of decks. Is that because you excluded, like once you went through like the list and you're like, we're excluding Roaring Moon, we're excluding Miraidon, we're excluding Charizard. Did Arceus was like, is that how Arceus got into the pick?
I'll go. No, let me go. I'm the person who decided we play Arceus. All right. Yeah. So, as you probably know, the Mike Fouché stats, Arceus was the highest win rate deck. So I played Arceus, and I'm like, damn, this deck is kind of just the greatest deck of all time. So yeah, after playing Arc for a few games, I kind of just tossed Arc in the list in the lineup, and it never got cut. We caught Charizard and we caught Chien-Pao throughout that. But yeah, I mean, like the Charizard matchup for Arceus is like an auto win, which was really nice when we were trying to target Charizard. We ended up going away from that in the end, but yeah, I mean, all the matchups are really solid for Arceus, and obviously auto win against Blocklex is really nice as well.
Because the deck is pretty solid, and it is pretty solid. Then it's just not
Yeah, so
Makani.
did you right away have that win con of the Squovet timer in mind?
Yes.
Like when,
Yeah.
if you knew you were going to play against Snorlax, that's like how you were going to win the game.
Yeah.
When
yes.
we
Go as fast as
started the
possible.
queue, we just like the plan was to defer to James and just don't comment on anything.
Yeah, because the plan was to go as fast as possible. Yeah, and they realized after they were already down 4 minutes.
Yeah. There was a point where they realized, and we tuned in, and they were like, "Well, maybe they prized it." And yeah, it was not prized. The Squovet was there.
John was like, "I'm down to just click concede," and Isaiah was like, "No," and we're gonna play. They played like 4 more turns.
All right, that's dope. Well, I don't have any more questions. Chip, did you have any questions?
I had something just a second ago, but it has escaped me now in this moment. But yeah, congratulations, guys! Super sick win. Oh, I was gonna. Yeah, I remembered. So once you saw the deck lists from both teams, was there any deck that you felt like that you guys chose to bring was gonna have a hard time being able to beat something that they had on their side?
Definitely Mew.
Mew was gonna be the hardest.
Yeah, we were worried about Mew getting swept.
I think it was Mew, and then the rest were fine. Like Gardevoir would probably be the next hardest one, which isn't that hard. Like it's basically going even.
Yeah, the Gardevoir
Gardevoir is
one.
just to play the game simulator.
The Gardevoir thing was pretty interesting because you guys had some pretty bad games with Gardevoir in this series. You got donked twice, I think, right?
Yep.
It was, and it was also like looking at your crew, right? Like you guys are the Gardevoir players, so that was something like the chat was like. Someone said something about like the 3 best Gardevoir players against these just Americans that the Tina enjoyers over on the other end, and the Gardevoir players just can't come away with the win. What ended up? What was there?
Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah, I'm on that team.
Yeah, Brent's on the Tina enjoyer side now.
Yeah, but so was there any? Like, did you find yourselves getting discouraged by you guys are so good with the Gardevoir deck, and it just like was not coming together?
Yeah, that was me.
These guys are in the gutter. I was trying to get them out of the gutter because they were so depressed after we lost everything.
VIP's too. The variance too high. Gardevoir's a terrible deck. It always bricks.
Yeah, it was pretty rough at that point, but yeah, like we definitely knew all our decks are pretty decent against Lax, so
yeah,
so always had a chance.
One last question, because so in this format it's a little bit different. I guess like 2 ways you can kind of tackle it, right? Because like they brought Spiritomb in a lot of decks, so they could corner something like Mew, and then on your end, you still chose to bring the Fusion Energy in Mew, but you don't know if they're going to bring Spiritomb in anything, because like for Spiritomb to be good, they basically have to go up against Mew, I guess, or Control.
Yeah, that's something we kind of talked about in the pre-show, because like you chose to take like your Snorlax list just like hard loses to Giratina, right? Like you don't have the Sinnoh, you have no chance, right? But like with the Mew, you still kept the Spiritomb answers in there with the Fusion Strike energies.
So what is the thought process there?
Yeah, I'll go on this one. I'll go ahead. Right. So I think the main thing is we're just trying to have well-rounded decks overall. It's really important that we don't get a deck targeted. So like, for example, so obviously we could get a deck targeted with Mew with the tombs, but realistically the thing about Mew is we can always opt first. Like this, it was like the 3rd game. We just send Mew going first. We can always usually get Mew going first. So even these matchups, like we tested the Chien-Pao matchup last night. All these matchups, even with Tomb and like the Tina matchup as well, are really fine if you're going first. So like overall, it was just trying to create really well-rounded decks. And so we excluded the decks that weren't as well-rounded.
Okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because yeah, even if you did play like the Sinnohs in the Snorlax deck, you're still gonna be unfavorable against Tina. So, but it can beat other stuff still.
It's not like a regionals where we have to beat Tina. Like, we just don't have to.
All right. Well, I think that's all my questions. Chip, you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right, well, I'll give you guys give you all a second to shout out your stuff. Where people can find you, coaching, content, whatever that might be. So go ahead and go first, James.
Yeah, YouTube JamesCX. My Twitch is JamesCTCG. So you can probably find me somewhere there. Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, Natalie.
Yeah, my Twitter is Natalie M and then 4 9s. Shout out to Cherry Collectibles for being a great place to get cards. And if you want to see stuff, I write a lot about Pokemon, so if you want to see that, go on TCG Player.
All right, and then Brent.
Yeah, so twitter.com/wet_goose, and then I also do coaching, and yeah, shout out Cherry Collectibles as well.
All right, sounds good. That sounds good. Well, yeah, thanks for doing this. I appreciate it. It was a great time. Congrats again on the win. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys at EUIC.
Thank you so much, Azul, for running it. We really appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah, this was really great to play in.
All right, have a good one.
Thank you.
See you. All right, Chip. Just me and you here. It was a great show match. Australia ends up with the dub. We came down to game 9 in the match. couple of the games were a little sloppy. Not sloppy from the player side, but just a little bit off. Like a little poor draws. the draws were, we would have liked to see a little bit better draws on both sides, but we still got game 9, right? At the end of the day, we still got game 9. So that was cool to see. But yeah, I mean, anything you want to shout out to the chat? Anything you want to say before we head off here then, I think?
No, I appreciate you having me on, Azul. It was a blast. Yeah, enjoy doing like kind of the more laid back, not really casting, but just like watching games, dissecting it. I really liked the aspect of listening into their thought processes and stuff like that. So yeah, appreciate you having me on. And yeah, if you guys want to hear more from me and Azul, you check out our podcast, of course, Uncommon Energy !podcast in the chat.
Yep. All right. Sounds good. Chat, I'm logging off. Thanks to Chip for coming on. Thanks to the players for showing up. Next show match will be next month, but I'm not going to tell you who it is, but I'm pretty excited for it. And I already pretty much have the April one lined up as well. I still got to work on that. But yeah, these are going to be coming at you guys monthly. The PTCG showdowns will continue. So yeah, next month is going to be the next one. And I'll plan to be trying to do them like every single month. Similar to this, some will be crew battles, some will not be crew battles. I've got a couple different ideas that I want to do for these. But we'll definitely be revisiting the crew battle format in the future. I especially, I really like the comms, right? When you tune in, getting to hear the players just kind of discuss cool. Pokemon in like a different way is really, really nice for sure. But yeah, with that said, I'm logging off. Thanks again to Chip. Have a good one. Peace.